another day. Except nobody getting paid.
NPGAA media event, and just as you heard earlier, it is important what this league does as far as creating that next opportunity. You know, they talk about professional development. This is a lot of personal development and getting to that next level. I'm here with Chuck Tolman. Good to see you this morning, Chuck.
Good to see you, Fred.
And we're going to kind of go over a few things, and let's talk about NPGAA in general and what they do. You know, their mission, getting these guys to the next level. A lot of times when that opportunity doesn't appear to be there.
Yeah, it's the changing landscape of college sports in general has created this lane to even get wider for people to be able to save their eligibility and grow either academically or as a person or just physically grow so that they can step onto campus with the most time left to make more of an impact. And I think that, you know, as this league continues to grow and as our landscape continues to change, this will become more and more important as it goes on.
And I see that as well. I've seen some of the development that's come out of it. You know, as I understand it, you know, you hear about the big D1 schools. You hear about the Alabamas. You hear about the Oklahomas, the Texases, and everything like that. And, you know, these guys, you know, that's always the big dream. You know, when you're coming out of high school, I want that recruiter to see me. I want that visibility. But sometimes you just need that extra little bit of push, that extra touch, and this provides an opportunity for that.
Yeah, I mean, going to college and playing D1 would be great, but if you're sitting on the bench and nobody's watching you, you're wasting your time sometimes. So if you can go to a program and then physically grow, get better, work on some of the finer things, you know, away from the huge spotlight, then when you get your chance, you're all ready to go. Also, you're seen as more mature. And as we've seen with the transfer portal, people are looking not for these, you know, 3 and 4 stars coming right out. They're looking for guys that have already been proven, maybe at a lower level, you know, to move up to an Alabama or something like that. So this is a perfect example of kind of adapting with the times, and this is something that, you know, in the future is going to have a lot more weight to it.
Right, and, you know, I'd be the first to say I don't necessarily, you know, you get a 5-star. Everybody wants to get the 5-star. But a program like this, that's where you probably find those hidden treasures at. You know, you go out there and you got that recruiter. He says, hey, there's something special about that guy. You know, he had that extra little bit. He had that extra little touch, and it turns out to be a diamond in the rough.
Exactly. And a lot of the times when you get some of those guys that are the 5 stars and the 4 stars going to D1, they're kind of pampered their way through it. They don't truly have, you know, what they call that eye of the tiger. They don't know how close they are to not getting what they want. And a lot of these great players, you know, this is like their chance. So they're going to work extra hard, and they're going to, you know, put in that extra work to get to that level, and it's going to mean that much more. They're going to be more businesslike about the approach, knowing kind of, you know, that there is no more safety net, you know, to get there. I think that, yeah, in the future, the NPGAA is going to be one of those leagues that people are going to pay attention to on the recruiting trail as another option. I mean, famously, like Larry Fitzgerald, you know, was one of those guys that did the post-grad route. You know, people know that Cam Newton went to JUCO for a while, but he lost a year of eligibility for that. Could you imagine if he would have had one more year to go back to Auburn after that, you know, and had extra time? Like, so keeping that year of eligibility is absolutely crucial at these, you know, in these days.
Right, and one of the exciting things, you know, from the top level, even at the NFL, and all the way down to, I mean, even at the high school level, you see the ebbs and flows of change. You know, you're talking about you got to deal with NIL now, and you're even dealing with it even at the high school level in some states. And you know, we're looking at the shape of NPGAA and some of the transitions in the league, and you kind of see this fresh start every year. And I think that's really the theme is the fresh start. You know, these guys, you know, whether they're needing that little bit of extra academic push, maybe more time in the weight room, you know, that development. That's what's exciting about NPGAA and the opportunity it creates.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, you know, they're coaching here, but they're also coaching high schools, so they're implementing the newest stuff. And the newest stuff usually starts off at a high school level. Gus Malzahn, you know, started off his offense at a high school level, and then it kind of took off from there. They're implementing these things from the ground level, and, you know, always having something new to add to the league And also, I mean, since you're not working with these gigantic academic institutions, you have freedom to be able to kind of try new things without having, a bunch of boosters breathing down your neck. You can work with the offense that works best with you based on the kind of players that you have, rather than trying to make a system and pick guys to fit that system. So I think this affords a better opportunity for players and coaches to be able to kind of hone their skills more than just, one out of like 68 or 70, guys trying to, work their way through classes and, the rigors of all these other schools. So a lot of these players have made the right decision to come here.
Absolutely, and I think one of the big things, you can talk football all day long, you can talk about statistics all day long, but the personal development portion of it, getting that extra maturity level, knowing that it's up to them to put in the work, as Leo said. This is that opportunity, and it is what you make of it. A lot of times when you see a kid that goes up to be at what they call like the last chance use, even then there's maybe a little bit of that shepherding, if you will, that probably might cause them to stumble. Where here, hey, God, you got to do this. This is on you, and this is your opportunity, and you have to own that opportunity. And we're seeing that in the league, and these guys that seize the moment. You always hear that colloquialism, seize the moment. They can really take advantage of it, and take out. What they say, the moon is your oyster if you want to go get it.
Yeah, and it should be noted that whereas in like Division I college football, the coaches stay there generally speaking, and they're kind of using the players to keep their contracts and stuff going on here. The coaches here, I mean, they're giving their time and their energy, so they have vested interest in each man that they are creating, right? Iron sharpens iron. So that's helping everybody out. This is a league that is filled with heart and character, and that's what you notice the difference in, and that's why I think you get really good, strong people that come out of this that go on with more of an appreciation of kind of what it takes to make it where it is. So it's not seen as some sort of a demotion to work here, and in some ways it's actually better than just sitting the bench somewhere and maybe some like lower league team just wasting your time. Maybe you get a couple free T-shirts and you feel like a big man on campus for a week, but then you get lost in the shuffle. Well, here some of these teams only have about 20-30 players, so you're getting that kind of individual attention that you wouldn't be getting somewhere else to get your skills better. If you're a defensive back, maybe they work on your footwork more than you would be getting if you were in a larger situation where they can go, well, we'll just make this guy go to the portal and make him leave. No, these coaches care about their players, and they want them to grow. And I find that that's one of the reasons that I really enjoy watching this league.
And it's really special that you mentioned that personal touch with the coaches. Bigger is not always better. And sometimes you cut a sharper lane in a smaller group, and that intention is important because you can take that time, and to the coaches and the staff, and they're taking that time. Like you said, hey, they're not here to with some multi-million-dollar contractor doing anything. It's that personal. It's a matter of heart more than it is of business, and that is the difference with this league. It's a matter of heart than it is a business. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, everything has to make something to make the gears turn. But the heartbeat of NPGAA, its staff and its coaches and what they're doing to pour into these young men.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to meeting some of these teams. Some of them have returned. We met them last year, and some of them are just absolutely brand new. They haven't even played a season yet. And it's always interesting and exciting to learn about them.
And that's the fun part is when you see something new. It's kind of like Christmas Day. You kind of unwrap and see what you got, and it's like a shiny new bicycle. So that being said, like a shiny new bicycle, NPGAA fans, players, coaches, staff, let's get ready to ride. We're going to take a bit of a break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned because there's a lot of information to follow and a lot to gain. We'll be right back.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
stop playing with me. Another dollar, another day. It's on nobody getting paid. Another dollar, another day. It's on nobody getting paid.
All right, we're back, and we're going to start introducing some of the teams, and we're going to start off here with River City Prep. Now, I always believe that, some yahoo with the microphone like myself can introduce everybody, but what's the point in that? I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves, starting with the coach. Coach? How you doing? Go ahead and introduce yourself to the fans.
I'm Coach Justin Moses. I'm the head coach, office coordinator, athletic director of River City Prep in Jacksonville, Florida. City to my left, I have Alex Kinchin, strong safety and outside linebacker, and running back Joshua Buford from Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, Coach. I believe last year was your first season with NPGAA. Is that correct?
Correct.
And tell us, how did it go for you? What did you think about it? And
yeah, it was a great experience. The NPGAA runs a great product. Also does NPGSN and Postgrad Recruits Inc. Great product. Enjoyed it. It was our first year jumping in the postgrad realm, and very organized. And we're excited to be back for year number 2.
All right, I see here that you got 45 players on the team, so you're coaching quite a few number of guys. What is it from last year that you learned that you were bringing into this season that maybe you hadn't thought about last year?
Just a different approach to these young men. They're all from different walks of life, and just a different way to approach them, and learning each one and getting that family atmosphere and getting to know the parents directly instead of just the athletes. That's been a big learning curve is getting to know their backgrounds first as human beings and an athlete second.
Do you find that it's having one season in already that kind of word has gotten around and people are coming to you a bit more, or do you still have to go out and recruit?
It's still a battle. It's still a recruiting battle. I mean, we're seeing it all across the nation. You've got, JUCOs are struggling a little bit right now. We're starting to see some decline there. We're starting to see post-grad programs grow up throughout the United States. But it's always a process. There's always something new to learn every day, and there's always something different you can do.
now, when you look at you mentioned the JUCO environment and football environment in general, what do you see as the biggest hurdle in the recruitment process?
The biggest hurdle is just for us, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these other teams are going through the same thing, is a lot of these kids, in our opinion, weren't set up. Either they're coming from a coaching staff that was just there for the W's and the L's, more so the W's, and they're really not setting up these young men for success after the field. They're just kind of going off their record. So it's been a little bit of a learning curve as far as how to reach out to those programs and get them involved as well, and actually get the truth about what post-grad programs can do for these young men moving forward.
And it's great to hear that, and great to hear your approach and getting it involved. Now the fun part. How do you see your team's performance this upcoming season?
We're still building. We're still growing. We got some great young men on board this year, so we're just trying to take it day by day. We had practice late last night and made the trip up here this morning to join the media day here. But it's most people say, hey, we're going to look a lot better than we were this year. But I'm a realist. I got to see what we got to do day by day and see what these young men can put together. But we're excited about this year, and I think we'll be a little bit better than we were last year.
Okay, so you have two players here with you. So we have a defensive back and a running back. So we got both sides of the ball here. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you, come to choose River City?
So basically, I went to a new school, B-Side High School, and our coaches didn't really have the resources to help me properly get recruited. And I thought River City would be the best way for me to get more exposure.
Okay. And so what exactly are you looking to do? I mean, obviously you want exposure, but do you want to maybe change positions, grow physically, or do you want to just continue down the same path and then maybe work on your tangible numbers?
I think I can grow both mentally and physically as a student of the game, and I just want to play ball.
All right, fair enough.
And I like that. You know, you want to play ball, student of the game. And I like what I love hearing players mention the term student, because usually when you hear the term student, you know, they see the book side as well as the field side, and that's important. That book side is super important. How do you see your role on defense, not only as a leader, but as a contributor on the field?
I can see myself leading the team through my actions and just helping out make plays and just make plays.
Are you one of those rah-rah guys, or are you one of those just quiet, follow-me guys?
Quiet ball.
Okay.
I kind of gathered.
Yeah,
I kind of gathered
that.
that this is the guy that you know you got to be careful with out there. You know, he doesn't say much, but he hits awfully hard.
Yeah.
So and that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing. Leading through your actions, you know, people tend to follow a lot more than the rah-rah guys. And I'm just being honest. That happens a lot. Rah-rah guys are important, but I tell you what they call the quiet killers on the field. That knock their blocks off, and you're on defense, so that happens. But also, hey, potentially knocking blocks off, running backs. and my question to you is, when you hit the hole, do you want to hit the hole and hit somebody and truck them?
Do everything. Just trying to get to that end zone.
I see here that you are pretty much a quarterback. Do you still view yourself like that way, or are you just trying to adapt?
I'm still adapting, you know. I played running back for 2 seasons. I still love the position, still getting to learn. You know, my coaches here in River City, they're doing everything that they can to show me everything. You know, on the offensive side and defensive side, because the running back, you got to read everything too, just like quarterback. You got to read the whole, you got to read defenses too. So, yeah.
Do you feel like the new kind of running back, you have to almost be a quarterback as well because of all the wildcat and all that stuff, so it's always good to have that in there?
Yes, sir, it is. I do believe that running back is basically like the second quarterback on the offensive ball on the side. And, you know, it's a big role. You know, it's not an easy role. You got to be a leader too, just like the QB. So I always talk to my quarterback, Bari. He's a really good quarterback. And me and we have a really good connection, so I feel like we're going to have a really good season this year.
All right, you're going to put in the work and get everything done. What made you choose River City?
Well, so I actually just graduated from Oak Cliff High School in Jasper, Florida. Really good coaching staff, but, you know, my playing style didn't match up with the playbook, so I didn't get as many reps as I could, but I did everything I could on, you know, special teams, on the offensive side of the ball. I played sniffer, too. I played fullback. River City really gave me the chance to not stop believing in my dream, which is to go on to the next level and play ball and being a student athlete. Because I believe if you're not a student athlete, you're just an athlete. You just want to be an athlete, you know.
Right.
You know, River City, they believe in all their teammates and all of our players, and they're just going to get us to the next level, you know. And they believe in every single one of us.
All right, Coach, you got two special guys here. It looks like you got two Swiss Army knives.
Right.
That you're multi-talented, could do multiple things.
Right.
So we're excited to see what River City produces this year, and it's kind of like a jack-in-the-box. You know, you're going to crank that thing, but you don't know when it's going to pop up. So, you know, I would tell all the teams around the league, don't, you know, looking at the X's and O's, you know, there's probably a lot of guesswork that's going to go in there.
Yeah. It's amazing seeing. There's a lot of great athletes I see out here in the crowd here at the NPGSN Media Day here. But, yeah, we're excited to see what we can put together on the field, and hopefully it's a successful one.
Yeah, the defending division champs.
Yep.
Got to defend that division there.
So you ready for it?
We're excited. We're ready, man. We're counting down the days. I think we're down to 20 more practices before the season starts. So 19 now, yeah. So we got 19 days. We're going to be traveling up, open up with Myrtle Beach, Collegiate up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Huge test for us right out the gate on August 24th. So, and then we turn around and do conference play on August 31st. So we're excited. We're just ready to go.
All right, Coach.
And there you have it, man. The River City Prep Admirals, they're ready to go. From what it sounds like, they're going to be the Swiss Army knife of NPGAA with the kind of talent they have on the field. So we're excited to see what you do.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not cities. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the fee at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go 200 that food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's cheddar cheese, it's the blue. I'm feeling so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the one, it's not the two. It's all the five, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chandra Blocker, and I'm one of the interviewers here today with NPGAA. So, who do we have here today? Tell me a little about yourself, your name, your position, where are you from?
My name is Jarvis Smith. I'm from Meridian, Mississippi, and I'm an athlete. I play offensive line and defensive line, but I also like to play a little bit of everything if you need me to.
I love it. So he's a total student athlete. So what do you believe is the greatest challenge most athletes are facing today?
Recruiting. Actually getting an opportunity to show who they actually is as an athlete and who they is as a person.
Okay, so I see a lot of athletes love to play games and be on TikTok and do all of that kind of stuff, so it's a little distraction. How do you manage your athletic responsibilities, making sure you're ready for practice, making sure you're ready for the game? Number one, getting your head in the game first. So how do you manage all of that?
Me personally, I don't be on social media a lot. Like, I try to stay away from social media. But I do play the game. The new NCAA just dropped. If anybody want to play me, I'm free to play. But yeah, I try to balance my time. So, like, I try to use time normal. So, like, I set time limits or timers or something like that. Like, if I got to do something a day ahead of time, just to make sure that I'm good and I'm focused and my brain is ready to cooperate with anything.
Okay, so being a sports and student athlete, if I was a quarterback, I would lose my mind in certain games because I watch the quarterback sometimes throw the ball and sometimes it gets lost or, they throw it too far, and that's a lot of pressure on the actual player. Tell me about your worst sports experience and how you felt.
My worst sports experience was actually getting hurt. I hurt my pinky. I hurt my pinky. I fractured my voter plate in my pinky. I was actually getting a pancake. I was pancaking somebody, and I fell down. And when we fell, I messed up my finger. But I got right back up, and I taped it up, and I got back doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't say that's my worst. I never really had like a worst experience, and I would say in sport. But like, if you would say that was my worst, that would be my worst. Getting hurt. Like, I feel like that's a pretty bad experience, getting hurt.
Got you. So what does a day look like in your eyes? What is your routine? What do you eat?
Okay, so I wake up, I take care of myself, I go work out, and then I'm a diabetic, so I eat enough carbs so I can, be able to stay regularly sugary. My glucose level
Right.
can be regular when I eat, so I try try to eat enough carbs and stuff. And then after I get done working out, I recover. I go play the game. I stroll on the meter just for a little bit, and then I get off and I just spend time with my family, and I work out again, of course.
So you work out twice a day?
Yeah, twice a day.
I heard that, twice a day. Okay.
I do field, and then I do I work out in the gym.
All right, so next we got 2 questions left for you. What would you tell your freshman high school self different from what you've done now? So what would you do differently as your freshman high school self, academically, physically? What would you do or tell your freshman high school self?
You're not going D1. I would tell myself that because in my head as a freshman, that's all I was thinking about was just I was thinking about I had this certain plan in my head that I was just gonna go out of high school and go straight D1, but that didn't happen.
Right. Excellent. My last question today is, who has been your biggest influencer in this game with playing football?
I gotta say my mom, and with my mom, my brothers, and my uncle. He passed away a couple years ago, but yeah, that's my biggest influence in the game for real.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a hand clap to our first player interview today.
You got to find today. DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. And so nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talk about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's your feet at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. They need that I'm planning. Gotta go chewing and get food. When I live, I'm about to go bust a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some candy. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, that's what just happened. It's the cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
All right, we are back, and thank you for hanging in there with us today for the NPGAA Media Day. To my right is Chuck Tolman, and we started out with the River City Prep Admirals, but to my left are the Bonneville Emperors. And as before, Coach, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and your players. Take it away.
I'm Coach Marty Robinson from Sanford, Florida, which is in the Orlando area, and I have two of my great athletes, Christian McKinney and Javario Quinn.
All right, Coach. Now, tell us a little bit about Bonneville and what Bonneville is all about.
Well, at Bonneville, I'm a first-year coach at Bonneville Academy, so we're making some great changes within the program. Our program, our main motto is play for purpose. When you come to our program, you're going to play football, take care of your business, and see to the next level.
And I like what you said there, taking care of business, because that is what it's all about at the end of the day, not only from a player standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. So how do you see your season looking going forward? And before we get to that, you know, when I was chatting just a second ago, you said you did some broadcasting before, and I know Chuck has another question for you. And, you know, I've been in front of a bunch of people. How has that role, you know, prepared you as a coach? Because a lot of times, you know, the coach has to also deal with the fans. So, you know, being in a public spotlight, like, you know, doing some broadcasting things prior, how does that help prepare you as a coach in dealing with that portion of it?
Well, I was a coach first before I got into that field. I always been a community guy. I always dealt with a lot of people, but I just had to get adjusted, you know, with having the lights, camera, and all that stuff on me. So it was an easy adjustment.
All right, I'm gonna toss it to Chuck because Chuck has an interesting question for you as well.
Well, yeah. So you're from the Orlando area. How do you see? Because you know, I'm from this general vicinity too, and I've noticed that maybe within the last 15 years, Orlando has really kind of grown as a football powerhouse. You know, Evans, Jones, Apopka, all of that. They've had some good teams, but now they're really getting big. How do you see that affecting the ability to recruit some players? Because, I mean, there's some serious schools that are coming in the area from colleges to pick up guys. How are you able to, you know, kind of sort of keep these guys around, keep them home?
Before I answer that question, you forgot to leave out my hometown team, Sanford Seminole.
Sanford Seminole.
So let's throw that in there. You know, we are a powerhouse program. But, well, I look at it like this. Post-grad is a benefit to a lot of schools, especially my school, my hometown, because so many kids get left behind, you know, without knowing about this type of program that we have. So it opens a lot of doors and gives kids, you know, different avenues and, you know, different options that they can move forward in their football career.
Yeah, and we were talking just before this that you are an owner of a semi-pro team.
Yes, sir.
So how does that fit into the landscape of football? Because I've heard several things about semi-pro. It's either just a bunch of like kids that are, you know, still trying to do it, and then a bunch of like 50, 60-year-old guys still trying to play.
Well,
you know?
I have seen some older guys that are out there still playing, and it's like, wow, if I had your energy, I would still be doing it. But
right.
It also is a benefit for some players. Like I have a kid named Tyler Jones out of my program, will be coming to play for us here at Bonneville. So it gives guys, you know, opportunity to get film and, you know, stay in shape and work on their athleticism.
And that's one of the benefits about, you know, about a post-grad is that you don't lose any eligibility for playing anything because you're not, you know, you're not really a professional, and so you're not wasting any extra time. It's basically like more reps, more playing time, more wear and tear on the body. So how are you dealing with that? Because, you know, you might not have the full nutrition programs that, you know, a big college will be. Are you trying to teach them to eat right and stretch, do the TB12 Tom Brady method?
Yeah, and we don't have, you know, a lot of practices with a lot of contact.
Okay.
So we kind of limit
keep the load
contact.
low.
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of offense do you kind of tend to favor? Because, you know, times are changing. I mean, you know, you brought a running back over here. I mean, that's almost like a dinosaur at this point. They're trying to weed out the position. They got rid of the fullback altogether. So
we run a more so spread type of style offense. But you know, things are subject to change. We're going to use every athlete. We're going to align kids in the right position for them to be successful.
Well, how do you juggle, you know, obviously wanting to help some of these kids, but also win games? Because sometimes, you know, you could get around and get everybody some reps, but at the same time, you know, you want to win, so maybe you want to keep the quarterback in for longer, but you might have 2 or 3 kids that might be good at that. How do you juggle that?
Well, we just play it like a chess game. One kid here, one kid there. You know, you got to do whatever it takes, you know, to win games as far as putting kids in the right position. That's just how I look at it. I look at simplicity as key. I try not to do too much thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, we were talking about offense, but defenses have changed too because they've also had to change with the time. You know, you've gone from where you had run-heavy offenses to, you know, the run-and-shoots and the West Coast style offenses to the spreads offenses where you're running a lot of hitch routes, RPOs and things of that nature. How do you see your defense this season adapting to that, and what's your defensive philosophy?
I think our defense will be pretty much fine. We're going to come out in a 4-4 and a 4-3 style We have great athletes that are coming in. Some great DBs. So we should adjust to our opponent's offensive scheme.
All right. Well, now, Coach, we're going to put some of the pressure on your players. And we're going to do a little bit of reverse that we did last time. We're going to go to the offensive guys. And I see you smiling over there. And I always like to ask guys that play running back because, it's so important now with these high-powered offenses, if you will, and the speed at which the ball has to be released. How do you see yourself in that offensive role? Because, now, it used to be, I'm old, I'm 55, so you don't have to worry about me trying to get out there and play football anymore. But you used to have the traditional back that would hit the hole, and their job was to hit that hole and make life miserable for the linebacker, that second level of the defense. But how do you see your role in the more modern offensive schemes, having to use your hands more?
Well, coming out of the backfield, coming out of high school, actually, I would like to say I had one of the best hands in my team. So I'm kind of like an extra receiver in the backfield. So when I'm running like a swing or a screen, that's like an extra receiver to attack the secondary. And, yeah, stuff like that. I can also run, too.
Now, I always ask this of every running back. When you hit the hole, do you want to truck them or do you want to juke them?
See, a guy my size can't even hit nobody, for real.
Got to have strong ankles.
So, yeah, I like to do a little dance on, get around the linebackers, try to avoid as much contact as possible.
Which running backs did you watch growing up? Because we all did.
I watched Josh Jacobs. I also watched, he's not really a running back, but Darren Sproles. I also watched Deuce Vaughn, too, because I like to look at the smaller backs. I'm 5'5". I'm 5'5", 160, so, not the biggest back, but I can really make some big plays out there.
Now, I'm going to talk about a guy that went to the University of Florida, and they considered him small, too. And he's one of my favorite players. I'm an Oklahoma native, therefore I must be a Dallas Cowboys fan. You know what I'm talking about. This guy's Emmitt Smith. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was considered too small, but he disappeared behind that offensive line. Is that something you take advantage of? You say, as John Madden would say, get behind that big behind, and all of a sudden you come out there and you're gone?
Yeah, I take advantage of that all the time. I mean, like, coming out of high school, offensive lineman, I'm like, yeah, I guess not.
So you ran track and did weightlifting.
Yes, sir.
Which of those two was your favorite thing to do?
Weightlifting.
Weightlifting. So you're a gym rat?
I'm a gym rat.
What's your favorite lift to do?
Squats.
Oh, wow, he's a leg day guy. This guy's insane.
I'm a leg boy.
There you go. Well, now we're going to pick on the defense a little bit. I see you sitting over there sweating it out. So your role in the defense?
Honestly, I'm just an athlete. I play everywhere. I play safety, DB, quarterback, receiver. I play anything.
You're that utility man,
He's a kick returner too, as well, right?
I returned a 98-yard kick last year in our district game. I just could pretty much do it all.
So when you're returning a kick, what are you looking for? You looking for that block, or are you looking for that weak link that you can juke out of his shoes?
Honestly, I kind of just try to stay patient, and then I just look for a hole, and then I just use my speed to hit the hole and just run.
All right. Are you doing anything to increase your speed, or are you trying to increase your strength?
Of course. I try to do like hill training, running in the sand, running up hills and stuff like that, parachutes and things of that nature, just to try to get my speed down.
Since you're from Central Florida, I'll ask you this question: where are you finding hills?
Just like in parks in my neighborhood and stuff like that. Like sometimes on the side of like highways and stuff that are close by my house, they have the bridges. There's hills on the side of them. You can run up there and stuff like that.
Yeah, for those that are not from Florida, that's an impossible thing to find.
You just get it in where you can get it in.
Yes, sir.
Well, you have to appreciate that. And listening to both of these guys, Chuck, they're wanting to put in the extra work. Coach, you're spoiled. You got guys at leg day finding hill in Central Florida trying to find a hill.
Looking for hills.
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm glad to have these guys aboard.
Absolutely. It sounds like you got a couple of great leaders on the team, and that's what you need. Finding ways to get it done. Because oftentimes, hey, look, every team, and I don't care what level they're at has found themselves in those adverse situations. And these are the kind of guys you want, because they're not saying, well, what do I do? They're saying, let me go find a hill, or let me be patient and find a way to get it done. And so what do you think about it in your coaching philosophy? How does that apply to the rest of the team?
Yeah, just lead by example.
Awesome.
That's pretty much it. Lead by example.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck.
Well, good luck this season, Coach. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
And, guys, I'm going to go find those hills. I haven't seen any in Central Florida either. And I'm from Alabama, and I've been through Central Florida. It's flat as a pancake.
There's a few hills in Orlando. Just avoid the ones that say pine.
All right. Let's give it up for the Bonneville Emperors, and we'll be right back. And thank you for hanging in there with us.
Thank y'all.
You gotta find it. DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my god, Q-Dude, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. And from nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not cities. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talk about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the feet at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. They need that I'm planning. Gotta go chewing and just when I live, I'm about to go bust a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some candy. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. Instead of cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all the five, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
And we're back again here with Chandra Blocker, interviewing two of our NPGAA athletes. All right, boys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Jabari Quinn from Manatee High School.
All right, now let's get started with some questions. All right, why were you chosen, or why do you feel like you're the best fit for your team?
Well, I like to offer a little bit of versatility and work ethic, too. I'm also a really good student as well. I like to stick to my studies. I like to stick to film as well.
Oh, I love it. All right, good feedback.
Honestly, I just think that I was really gifted. Like, God gives you a lot of talent. So, nobody recognized that. I just thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, excellent. All right. Has there been any athletes that have mentored you along the way, or are you looking at some idols on TV that are already on the NFL team? So who's been your biggest mentor and push?
A guy like me, I'm 5'5", so I've also been looking at people like Bruce Vaughn, Josh Jacobs, the small but stout running backs.
Right.
Darren Sproles, like they said, mentioned earlier, Emmitt Smith, the smaller, Hall of Famers, legends.
Really just myself, honestly. Maybe like a few NFL people like Odell Beckham, like I want to be great, but I've never really had anybody to look up to. I always got to push myself. I've always been kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Nobody ever really gave me a chance. Even high school, I always had to earn it. Just myself, pushing myself, That's all it really is.
So feeding off the answer you just gave me in the response, what would you tell a student that may feel the same way you feel right now? What would you do to encourage them to pop out, like Kendrick Lamar says in the song? What would you encourage that child to do to pop out, to more feature themselves in their plays?
My parents or none of that, they never came to my game. So I would just say, just motivate yourself.
struck me with that one. Okay. Okay. If I would have known that, I would have been there for your game. Okay, because that's important to have a good crowd with you supporting you. What's the best piece of advice you feel like one of your coaches has given you today in your games? Like, what's the best piece of advice you've been given?
Well, actually, earlier, my coach, Coach Marty, he told me that life is a gamble, so you take it. So take that gamble.
Definitely. I agree with that 100%. It's definitely a gamble, and it's a choice. Yourself?
Honestly, just keep my head down, just, stay on the right path. Because living like me personally, you always got to keep on your shoulder, especially being a young man of my standing. My coach always taught me this: keep your head down, stay quiet, just stay focused and drive.
In life today, with all the changes that are being made, whether it's political, even in school, getting your status, and in your field of game, what do you do for yourself to protect yourself from, like, getting in trouble, being around negativity? How do you steer yourself in the right direction to stay away from all of those different adversities that you guys are facing as athletes?
See, I just tell myself in my head, I tell myself to stay true to myself. Don't put myself in a negative bubble. Try to keep a closed circle and just stay close to people or positive influence on you.
Gotcha.
I'm always talking. I just pray about everything. Don't worry about anything. So if I'm going through something, I just start praying. Because God won't put you in a situation that you can't get out of. You won't be there if you can't swim in that water.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Okay, very good. All right, last question for today. If football doesn't work out, what do you plan to fall back on? What's your fallback?
Honestly, I ain't really thinking about a plan B. Football's always been the plan A of mine, plan B. But if I were to, like, just throw something out there, I'd say something like the Air Force or something like that. Okay. Something to help my family, support them financially, and, like, unconditionally.
Very good. All right.
I've been working for $6, so I know how 9 to 5 go, and that's not a life that I want.
Gotcha. Well, we can definitely start, but before I'm leaving today, I need some brakes on my truck outside so we can get started with that today. Let me tell you why you should always have a plan B, okay? I went to school to be a police officer, okay? When I started with the sheriff's department and they told me I got to start shooting people, I was like, oh, no, I can't do that. I'm too nice for that. So I went into education. So you always be a step ahead of your game, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in with us today, NPGAA, with our interviewers today. They did a beautiful job. Thank you so much for your time.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. And some nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not cities. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I'll be I'm at the top of the king's head. Getting me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the feet at? $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some candy. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. Instead of cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $3, Another dollar, another day.
All right, fans, we are back with the National Post-Grad Athletic Association Media Day. We just finished up with the Bonneville Emperors, and now we have the Paragon Academy Knights all the way from Viva Las Vegas, Nevada. And that is a long ride, Chuck.
It is. It's showing you that the NPGAA is trying to spread out west. Traditionally, they do a lot of JUCO stuff at that part of the country, and so post-grad is getting out there. And so this is one of the first teams. This is their first year that they've had football there at Paragon. So when we get to talk to the coach, maybe we'll get a little background on the school and everything else.
Absolutely. And to my left, Coach, as always, we're going to let you introduce yourself and your players.
My name is Greg Hughes. I'm from Buffalo, New York. To the left, I have LaMarcus Harrison and Joseph Iurta. LaMarcus is from California, and Joseph is a hometown kid from Las Vegas.
Okay, and what positions do they play?
LaMarcus is a slot wide receiver, and Joseph is our quarterback.
Uh-oh. The pitcher and the catcher. And you got that. I love that slot receiver. Y'all the dangerous guys. Yeah. So, Coach, got to look a little bit of your profile. Said you started coaching in Little League, youth leagues. I myself did the same. So first off, I want to shake your hand because, start with these young men when they're small is really huge and starting to build them up. This is the first season for Paragon. Yes. When you first took on this role, what was your vision? Did it seem like, wow, this giant mountain in front of you, but you knew you were just going to climb it and make it happen? What was your game plan coming in?
Well, my thinking was I got a lot of confidence as a coach, and I know I could get the job done and recruit players, but it was just the type of players I was going to recruit. You know what I mean? I had to get skilled players, linemen. Linemen is hard to come by, so that was my main focus. And we built the team up. We got about 35 players on the roster now, and we're ready.
Well, and that's awesome. And Chuck alluded to, being out west. And, of course, in Las Vegas, there's really only two teams at D1 level. And I'm going to let you take that one, Chuck.
Yeah, UNLV in Nevada. How is it that you've come to kind of build this team in a place that's full of, like, JUCOs? Where do you see the NPGAA and post-grad fitting into that landscape? Because for us here, especially in Florida, we don't have a JUCO. This is what we have. Where do you see that kind of fitting into the landscape?
Well, I think it's a big market out there in Vegas because there's not a lot of opportunities for the kids that don't get offers. So I tapped into that field, and it's going to grow year after year because the kids are starting to latch on to it and come to the program.
So being in Vegas, you are not too far from the L.A. area, right?
Not too far, only 4 hours.
So that's within the recruiting trip. So you find yourself out there in picking out that talent, because I know that's like a talent-rich area.
Well, a lot of athletes from LA they migrate to Las Vegas. Just people in general migrate to Las Vegas from LA. So, like LaMarcus, he's from California, and we got a few more players on the team that's from California also.
Okay, that's just interesting for us over here down in the southeast, because football here is obviously different. They just kind of sprout out from the ground and stuff, and you guys have to do a little bit more recruiting to get them to move over the next state. Do you find that to be a bit easier because you have this different lane? You can tell them, hey, look, keep an ear of eligibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a little easier, and they tell their friends to come out for the team, the friends that they know that played good in high school. So that's how we kind of build our roster.
All right, and so you introduce us to your player here, the guy to your left.
This is LaMarcus Harrison. He's our slot wide receiver / running back.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to two high schools. I went to Democracy Prep and Silmar Memorial High School.
Okay, and you played receiver there as well?
Nah, I played running back.
So you played running back. So now you're just straight catching the ball now because you got that slot receiver spot. Where do you find that you wanted to choose, the NPGAA route?
Because coming out of high school, I was a 3-star running back, and I had 10 offers, 41s, 42s, and 2 D3s. And something had happened with my mom, so I had no other choice but to stay home. And then I said, 2 months ago, maybe 3, I was like, I need to get back. My mom's straight now. I need to get back to locking back in, because it's this is all I know is football. I came from California where there's nothing. So, me coming out here to Vegas, I was like, I got to get back. I got to get back in I got to log back in, get back in my zone. And I was on Instagram, and I seen, one of my friends had posted to school, and I had skipped past it the first time. And I seen, multiple people post something, let me see what this is. So, I hit him up, what is this? And then he was like, come to practice the next day. So I came out there, and now I'm here. I'm loving it now. So.
And that's important, Chuck. He said something that really just struck me right there: the power of social media in promoting the league. And this is happening out west, okay? And obviously with the core being here in Florida, it's still a powerful tool. It's not so much, well, we've got home turf, we can just do this. But getting that social media presence is going to be huge. Now, I have a question for you, being a slot receiver / running back, with the type of offenses that are going out there. You're almost, like the prototype. Hey, you got to be able to catch that ball coming out of the backfield, and you offer a dimension that either it's going to be handed off or maybe tossed to you. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that? It really doesn't matter to me, to be honest, because it's as long as the ball gets to my hands and I know I have the advantage to catch it, then it really doesn't matter if you hand it or you throw it to me. So that's just my opinion.
Awesome. Now, QB.
Hold on, sir.
Now, you often hear about the quarterbacks being the prima donnas of the offense, because, hey, you're the one getting the ball from center, so everybody's kind of looking at you. Yeah. Right, wrong, unfair, or fair. How do you see your role as the quarterbacks? Because they tend to be the de facto leader of the team.
Yeah, you got to be a good leader to be a quarterback. You got to be vocal for sure. Keep everyone composed.
Awesome. And I know Chuck's got some great questions for you.
Yeah, so growing up, you're from Las Vegas, from that area, right?
I was born in North Carolina, but then I moved to Las Vegas.
Okay, so how is the recruiting scene out there? Because you're kind of out. It is a large city. It's got an NFL team now, but it's kind of it is in the desert, but it's sort of in its own desert of recruiting. Is that kind of how it is, and you're struggling to get out there, and there's only 2 outlets, or do you find that maybe there's other ways of getting your name out there?
No, yeah, I feel like it's hard to get your name out there in Las Vegas, especially when it's Bishop Gorman's out there too. That's a pretty tough school.
Right, that's the one that kind of takes all the oxygen away from.
No, yeah, for sure. Because I've seen I went to school to Shadow Ridge. There's good players there, but they only go to JUCO.
Right, and so this is affording you an opportunity to kind of get your name and out there. Do you see yourself as more of a straight passer, or are you more of a mobile quarterback?
I stay straight passer.
Okay, so you're not trying to give your coach any gray hairs.
But get out of the pocket when I need to.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Now, who do you see yourself modeling yourself after as a quarterback? Who would be that QB that you see yourself being?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Listening to him say that, he's not that scrambler. He'll get out the pocket if he has to, but he's more of a straight passer. That is Drew Brees all day.
Mr. Consistency. Yeah, Drew Brees was in there putting up the stats every year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He has the same height as me, too.
Okay, yeah.
So how do you see, your offense this year? It's brand new. Where do you see, both of you, in your role as leading the offense, being brand new? I'd say, hey, there's no pressure. We're brand new. We're coming out the gate and we're coming hard. How's your thoughts on that?
I would say the opposite. I say take it slow.
I like that.
For me, I'd say I kind of like what you said. It put a different take on to what I was trying to say. But I'd say since we, like, very new, like, some of the kids are, like, very hard-headed. So sometimes you gotta take it slow with them. Like, you can't just throw them out in the fire and they don't know what to do. So I say take it slow. Because you throw them in the fire, you're just going to be running like ants everywhere. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to get nobody hurt or anything like that. So I want to make sure my team is fully ready for the next game and the next game and the next game.
I got a question for Coach here. You guys are pretty far out there, so how is the travel going to work with you guys? Because that's you know.
Well, you know, flights got to get them early, you know, and most of our games are like we got Arizona, so we got to drive to Arizona. It's not too far. Utah, not too far, but the ones that we do have to get on the flights, we have to just travel. We got about 3 of them. We'll make it work.
And that's a big leap from like the high schools where you're taking buses to places. So it's getting them ready for that next level of it's a business trip.
Yeah. And Coach, I have one more question for you as well. I love what your players said because I guess you can maybe a little bit of the setup there. Hey, we've got nothing to lose. Come out hard. But they both said, hey, let's be slow. Let's go about it being patient, and let's build this. And I love that philosophy. Let's build this.
Well, I'll try to teach them clock management, first downs. Everything ain't about a big play. That's how turnovers happen, unforced errors, So drive down the field, clock management, waste some of that clock, run game, and we'll punch it in we'll get to the goal line, red zone.
All right, so no Bruce Arians, no risk it for no biscuit, right? The opposite of Bruce Arians.
But if we catch you sleeping, we're going up top.
Okay.
Well, we're excited that you're in the league. Viva Las Vegas. I would do an Elvis impression, but I would just leave everybody disappointed. So the Paragon Academy Knights, let's give them a big round of applause. They came a long way to be here. And we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back. See you then.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. It's on nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be at, I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the fee at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some candy. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's to the cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
And we're we're back. My name is Chandra Blocker, and I'm interviewing two amazing athletes here today with NPGAA. All right, boys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Joseph. You ready?
My name is LaMarcus Harston.
All right, so what positions do you play, and why do you feel like that's your position?
I play the quarterback position, and I feel like that's my position because I think I could be a leader on it. Just drive down the field whenever.
Good job.
I'm a hybrid. I play running back and slot receiver, and I've been playing running back my whole life. So, and yeah, I know that's my position, so I can't.
Now, as the quarterback, like I said earlier, that is a serious position. When they say down, set, hike, and that ball is in your hand, what is going through your mind at that time?
Try to find the open person.
Open person.
Make your reads first, for sure. Though.
Dealing with everyone coming at you. So do you feel that high anxiety? What are you feeling?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I feel nothing.
Good. Then you're gifted in your position. That's the position you're supposed to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, very good. So in your position, have you ever had any high anxiety moments or anything that made you feel like, oh my goodness, like they're coming at me? Like, what do you do? What is your mindset?
I say no. The only time I feel like it's a lot is the first play. After that first contact,
you in there. It's a wrap.
It's game on.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So do you feel like football is your sport, or is there any other sports that you like more?
I also play basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I do like basketball more, but if football gives me a road, that'd be cool too.
Okay, gotcha.
I just play strictly football. I ran a little bit of track, but that's about it.
But that track kept you with your speed, though, right?
Most definitely.
Right, got you. All right, so who has been your biggest influencer? Whether it's been a family member or someone that's in the NFL?
I say my dad. That's my biggest.
And why?
Because he showed me who I am today. He showed me how to be a man, respectful, and yeah, that's my Superman.
That's
so.
Excellent. Not everybody has a dad that's right there with them, so you better appreciate your dad. That's very good.
Definitely my parents. I never had it easy growing up, and then, just now they're like, now we're steady, we're cool.
Very good. That's amazing. That's amazing. So what are some of the hugest obstacles you feel like athletes are facing today?
Mental health.
Mental health. So let's go a little deeper with that, since you both, in tune to that. What do you, let's go a little deeper. And it doesn't have to be specific on yourself, but when you say mental health, let's talk about that. What does that mean to you?
For me, it's anxiety. So I know a lot of athletes deal with anxiety.
Right.
So.
I say depression. It's like, in this world, mental health is it's going way past a lot of people's head, and a lot of people just don't care,
right,
or don't even notice, because it's like in this generation with social media and everything that's going on, all you see is females doing this, females doing that, guys doing this, guys doing that, but y'all not seeing like what's the right picture, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do.
Right.
So.
And again, you guys are taking me out of my interview mode with saying the mental health and how you guys feel, even with the social media, with TikToks and all this stuff, and the stuff being so at your hand and at your access. In my age, we had cell phones, but we didn't have access to all that kind of stuff to see us. So how do you deal with it? How do you channel your mental health? One of my godmothers always said that she would take a rubber band and pop herself and say, hey, get back right. So how do you channel your mental health so that you don't go the wrong way or the wrong direction, but stay yourself on the right trail?
Whenever I feel like that, I just go to Jesus Christ. I think he's my...
Can I get an amen again, guys? Amen. All right. Very good.
Mine is Jesus Christ and music. Music is my peace.
Gotcha.
I could just sit there and just listen to music all day. Some days you got your music where you're not feeling it, and then you got your music is like, all right, it's time to log back in, and then you just turn up.
That's it. That's right. So as I came in earlier, I told you guys I love my music, and it gets you all excited, and playing music does get you in the right mind frame. One time I was hosting an event, and here in comes Rich Homie Quan, and in comes some other artists that my friend purchased for her husband for an event. If any artist could walk in that door right now, look at the door, who would it be for you?
I'll give this one a word.
If NBA YoungBoy walked through this door, it's over.
It's over. It's a done deal. Touchdown. Boom. You got it.
I agree with that statement, Lamar.
All right. I love it. Last question, boys, okay? What does a day look like for you with your diet? What are you eating? Obviously, you guys look fit, so you're not eating burgers like me and fried chicken and mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese, or either you're eating that, but you're working it off. So what does a day look like in your diet?
Yeah, I'm eating it, then I'm working it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it so G100. Like I eat those when it's like time when I ain't got nothing in the house and I just got to go pay for it.
Gotcha.
But I usually just eat like yogurt and like oatmeal and stuff like that.
So healthy
But
eating.
yeah, because my mom and dad don't play that. So
They don't play that bad food eating?
Nah.
So I got to have a talk with my parents, huh? All right. Thank you, boys, so much for giving us time today to talk with us and let us interview you. I wish you nothing but the best in all that you do. And let's give these young men a huge round of applause. Very good, gentlemen.
You got to find it. DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my god, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be I'm at the top of the kings. I ain't getting me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get it. You talk about game, but where's the fee at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning, gotta go chewing to death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't want some I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's to the cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
All right, we're back with the NPGAA Media Days. We're glad you're hanging in there with us. A lot of great teams, a lot of good stuff going on. We just finished up with all the way from Las Vegas, the Paragon Academy Knights, and now we are bringing in the Roseville Academy Lions. And we're excited to have them here with us today. As always, we let the coaches introduce themselves and their players and the positions they play. So we're going to get that underway. Coach, take it away.
My name is Coach Chris Moran. I'm the head football coach here with the Roseville Lions. We are located in Daytona Beach, Florida. Right now I have Chase Irvin. He plays defensive back. And then I have Carlos Ortiz. He's offensive tackle.
All right, Coach. You know, I was looking at a little bit of your professional history, and you played professional arena football and served as a coach. How has that helped prepare you to take on these kids here at Roseville?
Well, as I was playing, I was always in the community. I'm a community person. What I have done, I have built my own youth football program where I started it in Fort Myers, Florida, and I still have people running that for me. And so coaching high school football with some of the coaches that I have in here right now has really helped me a lot, and also doing a lot of internship with a lot of college coaches, and a lot of my friends are college coaches too that I've been, and now having this post-grad is able to open the doors for these young men to go through.
Yeah, so I noticed that this is your second-year program, correct?
Second year.
So you've had a chance to kind of, what they say, get your feet wet, kind of learn the ropes and everything. How has that helped Roseville in the recruitment process?
It helps tremendous. Like I said, I played professional ball, so I can relate to the guys when I'm talking I still do the old school recruiting, going to the parents' houses, driving up, shaking their hands and introducing myself to them so they can understand it's a real person. It's not somebody behind the scenes. You actually getting a real coach coming to you and actually recruiting your child and letting them know how much I care about them.
Now, one of the key components in looking at your profile, you moved 6 guys. And I want everybody out there watching to understand, when they say move 6 guys, that means move them to the next level, correct?
Correct.
So how have you used that imprint to draw attention not only to Roseville but to the NPGAA?
So I've been with the NPGAA, when they first started. So I was working with other different programs and organizations, and so being with them, getting the parents to understand what National Postgrad Association is. I'm all on social media and letting everybody know what postgrad is all is about. And again, we're not knocking about junior college, but realistically, a lot of these guys is not ready for the next level. They're not really putting in the work that they're supposed to. And so in the National Postgrad, we educate them. I go to some of the high schools and educate them on what postgrad is about. And again, teaching these high school coaches and also some of these junior college coaches, and that postgrad is a place for student athletes who need that extra year, who needs that potential. You might get a 5-star guy, you might get a 4. Some kids might come, but at the end of the day, you're trying to get the ones who did not really serve and really play at their potential.
And to my right is Chuck Tolman, and I know he's got some great questions for you as well, Coach. Chuck, take it away.
Yeah, so with the transfer portal, which is obviously, having a downstream effect, have you noticed within the last, 3-4 years that there are more kids that might have been a 2 or a 3-star trying to join these programs?
Well, the transfer portal, it's one of the things right now is killing the high school football, But I say this, as, again, going out in the community, educating the high school coaches, educating them to tell them what they have to do to get their kids out there and then get that exposure. And if you're a 2-star kid, hey, how you got to go to the camps? And again, it's just, evaluating and going out there and educating the kids on what do they have to do to get recruited, because the transfer portal is now, most of the college coaches I've been involved with is saying, I'll go get a kid right now who's ready, who's seasonal. But we still got the old school coaches say, hey, I would like to develop with this kid, take this kid under my wing for 4 years. Yeah,
and one of the problems you have to throw on top of that is NIL, which I know you guys don't necessarily have in these leagues, right? So Florida, I think, just passed the NIL deal. So you're going to start having high school kids flipping high schools to get, I don't know how much money, but some money, and then they might have to take a year off to work on themselves. How are you preparing for that?
Well, NIL been around for a long time. They just gave it a name. Right. Back in the day when I was playing college football, we always getting paid underneath the table, things like that. So NIL been around for a long time. It just now is just being a popular thing. What we do here at Roseville, we educate them what NIL is. We take our kids out, 2 o'clock, go meet different businesses and stuff like that to let them expose themselves so they can try to get an NIL deal. But it comes with a lot of work. You got to advertise, you got to market it, you got to teach them the right ways, the content. So there's a lot of things that people don't understand how this NIL deal is going to work. Everybody's not going to get paid. Everybody's not going to get no money. So it's going to be the ones who really excel. And so you're seeing a lot of these high school kids are jumping around, going to these schools, but they don't realize they're hurting themselves, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of work they got to do for the NIL.
And you don't have to move too far to recruit. Daytona Beach, that whole area over there is a pretty good hotbed for that.
Yeah, Daytona is a great area to have a post-grad. A lot of these students, everybody going to certain schools around in that area. And I thought being in Daytona would be a great aspect for these guys to be able to grow and understand what they can get for.
You mentioned something in the proximity of Daytona. The first thing I think about from proximity is Liberty City. And there is a world of talent that has come from that Miami-Dade area, which you're in proximity of. So, they see the big dream. They see the guys that have come out of there, the Michael Irvins and everything else, the U. would you call it, in a sense, a talking down to some reality levels that you have to kind of approach with some of these kids to say, look, everybody's not going to get that rocket shot to the top, but we have something that can help you get to the next level, building brick by brick.
And again, it's educating the kids, and again, it starts with the high school coaches, educating them to educate the kids, to tell them about post-grad. Where man is, again, everyone, if you
than there are left. Please, oh, please. That's
safety. Anyone I can play it.
They know better, no flex zone wherever you are.
Yeah, man. They know. Like, I'm a killer. You come in my zone, I'm hitting you first quarter. Real.
They still let you hit in football?
They ain't got no choice. I'm gonna do it regardless.
Now, if they throw it your way, Now, there's a famous guy from Florida. He's hanging around Colorado somewhere now, something about some buffaloes or something. But, that they would basically he'd shut down half of the field. How do you see your role on defense?
Man, my role on defense, like you said, I'm shutting down half the field. Especially I'm over the top. I'm shutting down the whole top of the field. I ran track in high school. I ran 400 meters. Went to state for it. So I could go to the other side of the field quick. If you throw it, you better not throw no lob because I'm going to get it.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah.
Take it away.
For those of you not from the state of Florida, if you make it to states in track in the state of Florida, you are a fast dude. So what made you choose NPGAA?
Coming out of high school, I ain't play a lot. Not even from I ain't play a lot, but I had that dog in me though. I went to Maryland. We fell short of a state title in the state championship game by 2 points. Mm-hmm. So that made me hungry, and I didn't get a lot of offers coming out of high school. So that made me a dog. So when I came across Roseville, I contacted the coach. He put up on me the same day and talked to me, and we had a good little conversation about 2 hours. And he hearing his words, he showed me that he cared for me. And he was telling me about his little portfolio. He put a lot of people in D1 schools in college regardless. So that's why I chose it. I felt like I had a potential to go D1.
Yeah, you can feel the fire coming off of them.
I'm telling you, man. I'm having to take a sip of this water in a second because I'm like, these guys are hot.
I am not running across the field on that guy.
Absolutely not. So, Coach, offensive and defensive philosophy. It's your second year with the program. How do you see its growth going forward?
Well, we base our offense and defense. We see what the kids have first. When we have our workouts and tryouts, we see how their movements are. And then we come to the table when everybody come together. That's when we kind of put in an offense or a defense. We just don't just say we are spread or we're 4-3 or 3-4. We have to see what type of guys we got. And then that's how we all come together collectively as a coaching staff and say, okay, this is the type of offense that we can run or this is the type of defense that we can run. And then because first thing we always go out for is a kicker because without special teams, you can't win football games. So we always make sure we got kickers and alignment. Without linemen, you can't win football games. So that's what's been our biggest thing is recruiting on is special teams and linemen, and then that's how we kind of put everything together.
Yeah, he mentioned playing in a state championship game and losing by 2 points. Your difference is a field goal. So, Coach, that's great to hear the importance of special teams. A lot of times that gets lost in the shuffle, and it's kind of more of a sideshow than a key component. So it's great to hear that. Anything else, Chuck?
No, man, I'm just interested to see them because, between all of them, they got all that. That's going to be some interesting games.
Absolutely. I want to race you, but if I do that, I want to get a scat pack so that at least I have a chance. So, guys, this is the Roseville Academy Lions. Looks like they're going to be ready to have a great season. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Let's give these guys a big round of applause. I think we're about to see what's coming in NPGAA. So that's good stuff. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll be back in a few.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Q-Dude, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not city. That can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talk about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the fee at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the gas food. When I load, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watching the cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's the cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the one, it's not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. question what I choose. $1, $2, $3, $no dollar. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Another dollar, another day.
Hi, this is Donald Sanders with NPGAA. Here with two Roseville players, defensive back and offensive tackle. You've been through the first process of this interview so far. What are you thinking about meeting you today so far?
It's going good. I like the camera. So it's really nothing to me. He more quiet. He more of a quiet person. Like they say, silent killer. I got faith in my team. Do good things.
Yeah, just first time being a media type stuff, so a little nervous, but you know how it go.
Oh man, all us here to have fun, man. You don't be nervous. We good. So while you entered the post-grad program, how are you feeling about your team? Have y'all been practicing, or y'all just been getting together, or what? A second part of that question: what have yourself done since the last fall to get yourself ready for this upcoming season?
Well, to answer the first question, a lot of our players haven't flew in yet, so we've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings. We've been talking, getting to know each other personally. And to answer the second part, I've been doing a lot of field work to get my footwork better and doing more weight room activities because I'm kind of undersized to be a safety and a defensive back in general. But I got a dog in me that you really can't teach. So,
I see.
So it is what it is.
What about you?
Just working out, staying healthy. I do CrossFit, so keep up my agility and all that, conditioning. So just working to get better.
That's great. This is a new thing you're going in, man, with the school, academic-wise. They call it student athlete for a reason. So how you think you're going to be able to balance the academics with the football side, because you're playing more football now than you did in high school?
Well, you have no choice but to get on your A game when it comes to schoolwork, because without school, you can't play football. You can't get into college. The school won't accept you without grades, so you don't have no choice but to manage your time. That's all you got to do is balance out. And to me, I do more of schoolwork than field, because, like I say, you can't get into school without no good grades.
Same thing. Like, I'm a grades first. Like, I just work on my school, get it done, make sure I get good grades and all that.
That's exactly what some college recruiters be looking to know, because they want you to focus in on your grades, because like they say, you're a student before you're an athlete, and that's real important when you're trying to progress into the next level. But I appreciate you guys for coming out, man. Media Day, you got some more stuff you got to do, man. Enjoy yourself, have fun, and good luck on your season, man. I'm looking forward to come checking y'all guys out. You say you're a lockdown corner, so when I come out there, I'm going to expect you to be a lockdown corner, all right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Take care, man, and good luck to you guys.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
On the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. And some nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not cities. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's your feet at? $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $2, $3, $1. That I'm planning. Gotta go 200 that for $1. I'm about to go bust a cannon. That's feeling. You ain't watching the cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear I just had it. They said the cheese, it's the blue. I'm still so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, $1. $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, $2, $3, $1. $1, Another dollar, another day.
All right, we are back. We just wrapped up with the Roseville Academy Lions. And next up, we have Advanced Prep Academy Panthers. And, man, there's a lot of beef at this table. I'm like, wow. Of course, I'm here with Chuck Tolman to my right. And to my left, as always, we let the coach introduce himself and his players and their position. So, Coach, take it away.
All right. Good morning, first off. I'm Coach Tars, head coach and offensive coordinator of Advanced Prep Academy. Here I got Josh Griffin, defensive end, tight end, offensive lineman. I got Kane Jones, offensive line, defensive lineman.
Awesome. And as I said before, the big guys hold a special place in my heart. Nothing happens offensively without them. And from a defensive standpoint, they're your first line of, stopping an offense. So, Coach, your professional history, I was checking that out. You had American Indoor Football Alliance, the Tampa Bay Tornadoes. In arena football, the Magnolia State Spartans, and National Arena League Columbus Lions out of Georgia. How has that helped prepare you as a coach here or at Advanced Prep?
Well, honestly, I started coaching before I even did any of that. Out of that, when I started coaching, I started out as an offensive coordinator for Advanced Prep Academy. And I must tell you that I played myself at Advanced Prep Academy. So having gone through the program and postgrad and understanding what it does and the opportunity that it provides for guys like Josh, like Kane, like all the other guys that are here for Media Day. So when I stepped into coaching, I realized that I really had a lot left in me, and I missed playing football. And so I was able to reach out to some guys and get some help and to get me into the next level of where I wanted to be.
Now, I can't stress this enough, and legacy. We have a legacy player that is also a prior assistant coach or running the offense, and now the head coach. Again, I can't stress how important that is, and y'all in the room, y'all need to give it up. I mean, this is what you want to see. You want to see these guys come back and give back to the league. So hats off to you, Coach, for sure. Now, having been in the league, you have a unique understanding, not only as a player, but as a coach in the recruitment process. How does that work for you? What is your approach, and what do you tell these guys?
So when I get on the phone with a lot of these guys that I recruit, I tell them first and foremost, I never want to lie to you. Never want to sell you a dream, because if I sell you a dream, I have to live up to that expectation of that dream that I just sold you. But if I tell you the truth and I tell you that my program is about work, we work for everything that we have, work for everything that we want, work for everything that we're going to get. And when you come into my program, if you put that work in, you can get what you want. I tell guys that we'll have guys that are going to come into the program that's going to put the work in to go D1, put the work in to go D2, put the work in to go NAIA. We don't send kids D3. We'll send kids JUCO only if it makes sense. And by making sense, meaning you're not paying anything out of pocket to be there. I don't sell a kid a dream. I sell the work ethic of my program and the success that we've seen behind that work ethic.
Now, APA was founded in 2014. So this team has been around for a while. What does the history mean to you as not only a player but as a coach, and how do you translate that to your players?
Okay, so with my players, I tell them straight up, if you want something that's going to be around, come to APA. We've been around for a long time. 10 years standing, longest standing post-grad in the state of Florida. So if you want something that's consistent, come to APA. That's what I tell the guys. Definitely come to us and see what this consistency is like. See what the work brings to you, and change your mentality and your work ethic when it comes down to preparing for college.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, you know more about Auburndale, Florida than I do, so I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, so the APA is kind of well known in the area, but there's obviously been huge changes just in the last decade, and you've been there for all of it. How are you looking to the future? I mean, obviously we're all here for the X's and O's for football, but you're making men. That's what you're doing, right?
Definitely.
And not everybody that's on your team, there's 20, 30 players, are going to make it to that next level. How are you trying to make these people into men that even if it doesn't go to the next level, how are they going to, benefit from it?
This is what I love about the program, is that it's beyond football. With APA, we brought in different certifications and licensing, so you don't have to leave this program empty-handed. Even if you don't get that letter of intent, you still leave with something. So we try to serve our guys by giving them life skill classes, teaching them how to cook. We get guys that come in that don't know how to do stuff like that don't know how to wash their clothes, believe it or not, or even make their own bed. So that's stuff that we impart into our guys when they come into Advanced Prep Academy.
So, obviously we have a season that's coming up. What are your key focuses for this season, like on the field? Are you trying to, get more of like a recruiting base to get bigger, better, and faster and stronger, or are you trying to basically develop the people that you got into better versions of themselves?
So, when it comes down to thinking of things in the future on the recruiting side of things, I let that fall in however it's going to do it. I do believe that bringing these guys into this season, we're going to work for these guys that we have here. We're also going to recruit. That's going to be that. But we're going to definitely work and focus on the guys that we have in our program to push them to the next level.
All right, you got some big dudes over here.
Yeah, let's start with that guy. Let's start with that big guy. I'm gonna start with the big guy down on the end because I like his hair.
Yeah,
Troy Polamalu. I need to get you his number so you can get you a Head and Shoulders deal. That's some good stuff up there. I mean,
he looks like the Big Show. He's like huge, man.
I'm telling you,
look
man.
how small that mic is in his hand. He's got
good, great.
Old paws, man.
Yeah, reintroduce yourself and talk about the position you play.
My name is Kane Jones. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri originally, and I moved to Florida like 3 years ago. And I'm playing, or in high school I played D-line, but hopefully I can transition to O-line too and play both sides of the ball.
Looking at that hair and everything, you do kind of have that Patrick Mahomes vibe, so I can kind of see that coming from Kansas City.
Oh, he looks like a fierce dude, man.
Well, his name is Kane.
Yeah, I know. You got like a – if you don't do anything with that name, I'm going to be very sad.
I've always gotten that. My high school coach, that's
Kane Jones, man. That's a bad dude.
Yeah. So playing on the D-line, and where do you see your role as part of that line?
Well, I'm not necessarily the quickest one. Those are the ones on the ends, but I use what I got mentally to like push my team and always have them keep going no matter what. Even if we're down or if they're almost about to get a touchdown, I just keep pushing them forward and hope we can get a stop.
You trying to play a 3 technique, 0 nose?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Or any position really.
Do that Vita Vea thing.
So, what if this is on you? This be on you, Coach. Say, what if you put you on the edge position?
He's gonna edge
I'm
rush
for it, right?
He all for it, awesome. And you got to love that from a defensive lineman. They say, put me anywhere, and I'm going to get the job done. There's not a lot of defensive linemen that can do that or are willing to do that.
No.
They tend to get comfortable where they are and not adapt that technique or shift it back and forth. So that's an advantage to you. So kudos to you on that. That young man right next to you, that $1 million smile.
Woo! Got the jewelry on too.
I got some bling.
I like it.
My name is Joshua Griffin. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I play DN, tight end, and O-line. I can do it all, really.
Okay, so you see yourself as more of an edge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you like getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, I like getting quarterback.
So how do you see yourself this season? What are your goals? Because, being an edge, it's become a specialized position. It's transitioned over the years from where it was more like more of a run control, man is the outside, to where you're blitzing off of both ends, where, they may bring the corner down and it's, okay, they're reading corner blitz, but all of a sudden here you come.
Right.
And, they don't see that happening. How do you see your role?
I'm a violent, dominant player. I've been playing DN since I was probably 10. I was doing the edge. My goals is to have at least average 3 sacks a game. Being the role model of the team, being the leader, being dominant on the field, vocal.
Okay, so you want to collect paper bags. See, that's something that I saw somewhere. That every time this guy had a stack of them at the end of the season, he was collecting paper. I said, "What's going on with that?" He said, "Sacks." So, Chuck, I know you got some great questions for him as well.
Yeah, man. You went to Evans,
yes, sir.
And you played defensive end there, but you have a unique story. So this isn't just about missing an opportunity at the next level. Like, you had a real close call.
Yes, sir.
And and you're coming back hard with that. Could you kind of just briefly go over that story?
Yes, sir. So it was my junior year, January 6, 2023. I was leaving my basketball game versus Edgewater, and a couple kids got in a fight in the parking lot, and then they started shooting, and I got hit in the crossfire. And laying on the floor, I really life was pacing. Is this how I want to end? I was like, I didn't get a chance to make it to the dream. Go to D1 college. And when I woke up in the hospital, I was watching my mom. She was crying. I was like, I'm good. I'm okay. And being in there for almost 2 months, I was just in my head like, dang, am I going to get another shot at football? Am I going to come back? Am I going to be stronger? Am I going to be better, disciplined? Going to my senior year, I had a 1.4 GPA because I couldn't finish my junior year. So the hard work and dedication I had to put up to get to a 2.5 is, by the grace of God, he gave me another shot. And being my senior year, going to the football games with Evans, watching them develop, watching the guys play violent, hard, I kept, even though I didn't get a chance to play, I kept working on my craft, being development, in case God gave me another shot at college football. And he did with the post-grad. And, once one door closed, another door will open. You can't take life for granted,
Right, yeah. So you have to physically get yourself back up to where you were.
Right.
But mentally, man, you sound like you are ready to go after it, man. It's just no one can hold you back.
Nah, I've been pacing in my room. I've been anxious to play a snap of football because it been almost 2 years, and when you got that dog in you want to play again, it'll come back.
I'm not looking forward to whoever has somebody.
That's a lot of pent up energy right there. But and I'm just going to say this, and I'll say this looking directly into the camera. That is an impressive young man. And if there was ever a story, first off, we're glad you made it. That's number one. We give thanks to God that you made it. God bless you, young man. But more so than that, NPGAA, I don't know where you're going to find another story like this. And the opportunity that NPGAA, by its existence, presenting this young man, who at one moment didn't know where his life was going to go, but has that chance to continue to develop his craft. So kudos to you. I'm gonna give you a hand clap right now. And with that, Coach, you sound like you got some stout talent on your team. Having been around for 14 years. Since 2014, been around for 10 years. where do you see the program this year? Where the goals and the growth going forward?
So
as a first-year head coach.
Yeah. So with us being in our decade season, I'm just looking to put a stamp on it. That's all. You know, that's my goal. I've been telling that to my guys that I've been recruiting since January when I stepped into the role, is that my goal is to put a ring on your finger and a letter of intent in your hand at the same time. So I'm just trying to put a stamp on where we've been at the last 10 years.
Well, Chuck, I'm actually kind of speechless right now.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting team to watch. I mean, they are the oldest in the state as far as post-grad athletics, so there's like that kind of pedigree there and stability. But, you know, you got two guys over here that look like they're ready to play some football.
Oh, absolutely. So it's going to be exciting to watch. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on you guys. You know, here we go. So, Coach, appreciate your time. Guys, appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to go to another break and another interview session. We'll be right back. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Much more to come.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. It's from nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life are so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not city. That can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking my way, nah I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I keep that. You talk about game, but where's the fleet at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watching the cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear, just had it. Instead of cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the one, it's not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
Hi, my name is Coach Don back here at National Postgrad Athletic Association Media Day. I'm sitting here with two guys from APA, Advanced Prep Academy, located in Auburndale, Florida. I have Joshua and I have Kane. Two big guys I see, man. One is the defensive end, one is the offensive tackle. And tell me a little bit about yourself. How big are you and how tall are you? Joshua?
Well, I'm 6'7", 253.
Jesus Christ. What about you, Kay? You look a lot bigger than him.
I'm 6'7", 320.
Woo. Man, these are some big guys, man. I know you parents, boy, when y'all was coming up to feed y'all, man, I know them. Whoo, Lord, y'all probably stayed in the refrigerator. Yeah, but anyway, what have you guys been doing, back to Josh, what have you been doing this offseason? I heard your story up on the podium, and you was telling me what you had went through, but what have you been doing this offseason to get yourself prepared for the 2024 season?
I've been working on my craft, doing my breathing. I've been working on my craft, doing my breathing treatment, getting back ready for football. Also been doing a little lifting, getting that feel back in the weight room,
What about you, Kane?
I've been getting my lifting in, and then and also at sand pits trying to get the footwork and the cardio right.
Okay, that's great, man, because it's going to be a hard season for you guys, a long season at that. You know what I'm saying? You going from your teenage years now to the young adult years, and so it's going to be an adjustment to you. So what are you looking forward to this year as far as playing with APA?
To make a difference in the team, you know, put a statement on it that we don't come to play, we come to be dogs. You know, at the end of the day, you got to be that dog. You got to be dominant if you want to make it to the next level. What about you?
Be as dominant as I can and push the whole team to do the same, so we all can make it however far we can with our life.
Okay, what are some of your goals this year? I heard you want to be a sight master, man.
You know, average at least 3 sacks a game. Being contribute to the team, as in being the voice of the team, being a leader, make a difference in the team. You know, because it's always there's never no room for correction.
Right.
I want to be known as that guy nobody can get past.
Woo!
Just like that.
Boy, all they got to do is put some food behind y'all two, man. I know they ain't going to get to the quarterback. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Wish you the best this upcoming season, man. And I'm going to keep tracking you guys, and watch see where you grow at as far as coming from a boy to a man now. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, man, with the sights, the pancakes, whatever you got going on, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. But I appreciate you coming over. You might have more media stuff to do, man, but I appreciate you stopping by here, man, and talk to me and get those grades right, because it's student athlete first. They put student for a reason. So get those grades right, and I wish you guys the best, man. And thank you for coming out, man.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the fee at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chewing the dirt food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's filler, you ain't want some cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. Instead of cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
Welcome back to NPGAA Media Day. I'm here with Joshua and Alex from River City Prep in Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome, guys, to the second part of your interview. What I want to ask you guys is, what do you expect from yourself during this 2024 season as far as a player and a student?
I expect myself to be a better leader on and off the field, and a better student athlete around my teammates. And I want to show that we came here for a reason. We came here to dominate and get better as a better brother, teammate, and everything that comes with it. So I want to show that we are not just a regular team. We are actually a family.
What about you, Alex?
During this 2024 season, on and off the field, I'm going to try and become the best version of myself, try and be a better leader, and hopefully help lead our team to a championship.
Well, glad you said that because that takes me into my next question. Last year, y'all were district champs. I don't know. You were champs in the division champs anyway. And are you looking trying to make that better for this coming season, or are you trying to go all the way? What's your ambitions for the team?
Well, I even know that. Actually, I just learned that today. I just graduated. This is my first year with River City, so of course we're gonna bring that second championship back. You know, that's the goal, that's the motto, and that's the standard. So me and him, we're both on the same page, and our team is on the same page. So we're just getting ready to get there.
What high school did you go to, by the way, Jacksonville?
Oak Leaf High School in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say we can't let that district championship last year be our ceiling. Every day at practice, we're getting better and better, and so we just have to keep striving for greatness and see what the fate holds us, or see what.
That's awesome, man. That's what I'm quite sure that what your coach want to hear. You know, that desire to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? The more wins they get, the better they get. It's all good. Next part, all I want to ask you about academics. Academics have always been the key for guys not making it to the next level. How do you stand yourself personally with academics? What you look forward to doing academically?
Me personally, I look up to God to help me with my academics. You know, it's not easy. You know, coming from being, you know, an IEP. You know, as an IEP student, you know, sometimes they look at you as a slow or a non-smart student, but I really feel like that's like a gift from God. You know, it helps me out for academics. As a student athlete, that's the most important thing in college and in the NFL. If you're getting to college, you gotta show the grades, man. If you don't have the grades, you ain't getting to play. Same thing as the new NCAA football game, man. I hate it because you gotta show them grades on the game too.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's always about the grades, man. If you don't have the grades, you're not gonna be able to play football. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that about NCAA football.
Yes, sir.
And you?
And for me to try and keep my grades up, I think my biggest thing is probably time management, you know, between football, class, and work, all that. I think managing my time is probably going to be my biggest area of concern. I think I'm going to try and work towards that more, keep my grades up.
That's awesome, man, because like I told other guys, they put student there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Student athlete. But I appreciate you guys coming out, man. I'm looking forward to you guys' 2024 season. I always been a big fan of River City Prep, you know what I'm saying, the last couple of years that I met these guys. So good luck. Wish you guys the best, man, and I salute my head off to you, man. I wish you much success, man, this upcoming season. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
You gotta find it, hey. You gotta find it, hey. DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Q-Dude, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not cities. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, you know I be I'm at the top where the kings at. Getting me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the feet at? $1, $2, $3.
All right, we are back. Fans, we're glad you're hanging in there with us for the National Post-Grad Athletic Association Media Day. Had some great teams thus far. Just finishing up with Advanced Prep, also known as APA. And now we have Prestige Worldwide. Hanging in there with me is Chuck Tolman to my right. Coach, we're going to turn it over to you to introduce yourself and your players and the positions they play, and then we'll get into the questions.
All right. My name is Brandon Glass, head football coach, Prestige Worldwide Sports Academy. To my left is
Jarvis Smith, O-line, D-line lineman, and on to the left of him is Marcus Lewis, D-line, O-line.
All right, Coach, I checked out some of your background, and it is pretty deep. And we're going to get into this in a minute, but I want to kind of go through some things here. This is your first season at Prestige, correct?
Yeah.
But you have had 6 years coaching throughout the East Coast at the post-grad level.
Not at the post-grad, 3 years in post-grad. 3 years before that, I started off in high school. But, yes, I do have 3 years experience in post-grad football.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, I want to get into your background a little bit. It's really diverse as far as football goes. You're a letterman in 2 sports, in Stephenson High in Georgia for football, Lithonia for baseball. You're a JUCO standout in Santa Barbara, 26 sacks in 2 seasons. That's impressive. You actually had signed to Auburn in 2009.
Yes, I did.
And me being an Alabama resident, that's close to me. That's a nod to my wife because, she's a War Eagle. And played some Mississippi College, and you got 2 Arena 2 league championships with the Florida Tarpons. So a really diverse background. How do you see that working as a coach when you're speaking to the players and recruiting? Because you've got 12 currently playing D1.
Well, it helps me out big time as far as recruitment because I've lived pretty much on each end of the United States. Lived in the Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, and also the West Coast. So it helps me as far as being able to relate to the players and just being familiar with different styles of ball on different sides of the nation. I'm very familiar with, different programs in different states that some people, average might not be familiar with. Other than, just the big names that Max Preps or Rivals might post. I might know some small schools in a certain area, which, more so kind of helped me. I can give an example this year with Jarvis. He's from Meridian, Mississippi. I've been to Mississippi from playing at Mississippi College. Got some buddies that play for East Mississippi. Got buddies played at Mississippi State. And, I knew from being in the Mississippi area that Meridian has some good, hard-nosed, tough football players. So, that was one of my first businesses. One of my first things in business is to go to Meridian and try to see if I can get me one of those hard-nosed football players.
Now, the offense you tend to run, or your style is more of a pro style, but you also run a 3-3-5 defensively. Yeah. And you don't see a lot, 3-4, 4-3, 4-4, or some variation thereof, but you don't often hear 3-3-5 come up too much. What led you to that?
Well, I actually learned the 3-3-5 under Coach Dennis Orlando. He used to be the head football coach at ASA Junior College. They won that championship during his tenure. And he's under the Nick Saban tree. And basically it's just an odd-man front defense. And, when it comes to the new age of football, when it comes to spread and teams want to spread you out to be able to run the ball or throw it, it's not necessarily a necessity to have as many interior players out there. What I'm starting to find out is that you probably pretty much need about 5 DBs on the field at all times. But being in the 3-3-5, it gives me the availability to be hybrid. I can switch to multiple fronts. I can go from odd to even. I can go from even to odd. I can go from 3-3-5 to a bear. Just pretty much interchangeable.
Well, Chuck, I know you got some interesting questions as it relates to that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. So, this kind of new era of football I've noticed is that instead of the highly specialized players of like you are this size, you are this position, we're starting to actually kind of regress back 100 years where people are all big and fast, kind of one thing. Right. So that 3-3-5 seems like you can drop a linebacker down, but he's the same size as a D-end, or you basically have a D-end that can run like a linebacker. Is that kind of the point of it?
Yes, most definitely. And especially in the post-grad level, when you have certain undersized kids, being able to run that 3-3-5 will give a certain kid a better look from a college, being at a certain position that he would being in a natural defense. Like, say, for instance, if I have an undersized defensive back, being in the box at strong safety in our 3-3-5 would be a better look for a college to evaluate him other than him being, maybe for instance, a 5'10" corner or a 5'8" corner out there on the island. You know what I mean? It gives me an opportunity. It gives the players the opportunity to be able to play inside and outside.
I got a question about the pro-style offense. We're talking like the old-style pro-style offense, right?
Yeah.
You still use a fullback?
It depends. It depends. I'm the type of coach that where I like to run. I like to run my schemes off of personnel. I don't try to fit a square piece into a round puzzle.
Right. It just doesn't seem like nowadays there's that big, Jerome Bettis, Mike Allstott guy.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have that to be able to get what you want across. You know what I mean? There's so many ways to do it. You've seen it with the San Francisco 49ers. They would put Trent Williams at H and have him pull and run power and kick out, So we most definitely plan on doing those type of things this season.
And we have like a dearth of, you have a whole plethora of experience. You've pretty much done everything on the football field and gone everywhere except for selling popcorn in the stands. I mean, you've been everywhere and done everything.
I actually have done that before.
Okay,
too.
he's done everything.
One of my junior college jobs was working for the Braves at Turner Field.
So you've done everything. So you pretty much have it, inside and out. And one of the focuses that we have now is, we're talking about the NIL and the transfer portal and kind of what that's done downstream. How do you see that affecting the way that you can go out and recruit? Maybe that you're able to, before you're finding kids that maybe just didn't have the grades, and now maybe they do. Maybe they need an extra year, and so what? You're trying to explain to them why. Basically, give me a pitch of why we should go post grad. Because you've done JUCO, you've done everything else.
Right. Well, I talked to several junior college coaches, and what's starting to happen with the NIL and with the portal being involved. Most of the big-time universities, the Power 4 universities, they don't want to invest in younger kids. They would rather invest into a junior college kid, a kid that's more mature, that has proven, what he's done, as far as academically and athletically. And with the transfer portal being involved too, a lot of Division I players, Division II players, and D3 players, they're not having homes. So, a lot of people hear about kids entering the portal, but they don't hear about the rate of kids that don't get picked up out of the portal. So what is starting to happen is it's starting to trickle down to the junior college level. Some of these kids that are actually Division I talents are going down to play playing junior college football. I believe Alabama just had a 5-star receiver drop down and play junior college football this season. So with that trickling down, it's just going to be a even more trickle-down effect on the high schools. And kids are going to really need to go to the prep level to develop to be able to even go to junior college or to a 4-year school.
All right, you got some big dudes here with you. So I think there's been a theme lately with the last few teams having some big old guys here. And I believe one of them runs a 4.8.
Yeah, which one is that? Who runs that 4.8? Yeah, introduce yourself and what position do you play?
And you run a 4.8 40. You do not want that guy coming downhill at you. So you play defensive tackle. You play straight up nose. You play the 3. You trying to
the 3.
Okay, doing the 3 techniques. Where'd you go to high school?
PK Young.
Right.
Florida.
Okay. So what made you choose to go the post grad route?
Just Coach Glass believing in me and just recruiting me.
So, yeah. Okay. And who's next to you?
Jarvis Smith. I play offensive line and D-line. I'm from Meridian, Mississippi. I went to Meridian High School. I'm an excellent puller. I'm looking to come to Prestige. The reason I chose post grad was because it was when I was younger. Like in 9th, 10th grade, I wanted to play D1. I always had it in my mind that I was gonna go D1 straight off the bat because I was around a lot of D1 guys. Like my school, we as you know, we got Daniel Hill and we got Quindarius Jones. Well, they both Quindarius played at Florida State and Daniel played. He just got recruited to Alabama. He just committed to Alabama. But yeah, so that was in my head that I was gonna go as well, being around them. But I got woken up. Stuff happened to me, and I had to realize it's the best decision for me to become a better man, a better player, and a better opportunity for me, for myself as well.
I got two things for you. First off, you said be a better man. So a round of applause to you for that, because that's what we all need to work towards, is be a better man. That tells me you have perspective, and that's key. But you said you're a puller, and that's not something that every offensive lineman can be good at, because, Coach says, hey, that pro-style offense, you don't know what look you're going to get. So when Coach calls on you, that pulling is important, be it run and or pass. So how do you see your role as a leader on the offensive line? Because in a sense, usually they say the center is kind of the quarterback of the offensive line. But as a pulling guard, a lot of times that comes down to you, because sometimes that's where that tempo gets set.
Me personally, I have played center, guard, and tackle. So I like, as being a leader, as an offensive lineman, I can, help develop. Even like, so if the center has a question about anything, or if he's lacking something, I can help him and give him a boost to that. Or if the tackle has a question, or if he's lacking anything, I can help him give him a boost to that. I'm not saying I'm a coach or anything, but I know a lot of stuff, and I done played the game for a while. But I just, as a pulling guard though, as a leader on the offense, I just want to make it to a championship and win, because at my high school we never went far, even though we had a lot of great talent, but we never prospered on our team. So I just want to come to a team that's ready to win ready to win a championship.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a very talented team and are ready to go. What is your forward outlook, Coach, on this season?
We want to put this program on the map. It's been kind of up and down a few years before I took the helm, and I want to bring some stability to it, and I want to carry over what I've took from my previous stints and bring it to prestige.
Well, I can definitely tell you that's an advantage, having that depth of experience. And these two big guys right here, they look like they're ready to do their thing. And now, as an O-line, I got to ask you, pancakes.
Ooh, see, my bad. I'm sorry. I had 51 pancakes my sophomore year, and my junior year, and I think I had like 54 my sophomore year. I played tight end as well my junior year, so I didn't get as many pancakes as I wanted to, but I did get a lot of pancakes though. But I love pancakes though. They called me Mr. Pancake back in the hometown. They also called me Big, so I got a lot of nicknames. But I love pancakes though. And Waffle House, not Waffle House, IHOP, we always open.
I love it. So, Coach, you know what you got to do, right? That'd be Log Cabin, Aunt Jemima. What's that? Allagoon, Miss Butterworth. So you got to get it. And look, these boys look like they can put down some pancakes. I certainly am not going to fight them at the breakfast table, because one, I'm headed towards senior citizenship, and I'm not crazy, because you boys have got it together, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do this year.
Yeah, enough with the turnover chains. You need to bring like pancake mix for the linemen. You know what I mean?
That's right. Paper bags for sacks.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. You guys have a great season. We look forward to seeing you. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back. Let's give it up for Prestige Worldwide, the Barracudas.
On the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Q-Dude, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. And so nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the city. Look for me, You know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Looking at me and they think I don't see that. They talking my way. Nah, I gotta lead that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's your feet at? $1, $2, $3, no dollar. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. That I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the dust. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watching the cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear, just had it. Instead of cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the one, it's not the two. It's all them five, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
NPGAA Media Day. It has been a fun event so far, meeting a lot of great young men. You know, before we get into it, what are your thoughts, Chuck, thus far? I mean, some impressive young men and some great programs is about to have a great year.
Absolutely. A lot of these people are really good athletes, and they've decided to invest in themselves with this time and use it to grow. You hear a lot of, like, grow as a man. You don't hear that a lot from people that are just trying to go to college to either get a check or, you know, maybe try to live the big life and stuff. They're building who they are to the core, and, you know, you have some stories of adversity and things, and you're getting a sense that even if football doesn't work out, these people are going to be better, like, men after this. They're going to make the world a better place because they have more, like, core values. And, you know, we've talked about, like, X's and O's, but really it's kind of just about building the people rather than just the football. Because a lot of these guys have had success and they played high school, and some of them, you know, have done well, and some of them haven't played in a few years. But it's all about kind of fulfilling this sort of dream and, like, betting on themselves and trying to get further in life.
Absolutely. And so from that standpoint, that's really what it's all about, and that is at the core of what NPGAA is all about. It's not just about getting them to the next level. It's about building a better human being. Football is just the component. It's a part of a bigger thing. And to that end, we want to definitely give thanks to the NPGAA, its players and coaches. And with that said, to my left is sitting the Naples Knights, and my understanding is they're brand new, so new that the window sticker is still on. So, Coach, as always, we let you introduce yourself and introduce your players to your left.
Sure.
So take it away.
Yeah, I'm Coach Wendell Wooten. I have Demarion Salters and Travis Chairs, both wide receivers with our program this year.
Okay, so we went from beef to speed. Don't get me wrong. These young men, they eat just as well. I know it. So there's no mystery there. Now, first off, you're a retired law enforcement officer, so
I am.
Kudos to that.
Thank you.
And you've coached at the high school and youth level for 30-plus years.
I'm what they say, OG. I'm an OG.
OG. That's right.
Yeah.
So you and me are cruising in the same lane. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I understood what you were saying.
Yeah, that's
there.
right.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying right there.
Yeah.
So you played high school football, semi-pro, and NYDOC football team member.
Yeah. So up in New York, as you guys know, football. New York is not a hotbed for football, especially in the 5 boroughs. So. A lot of guys, we back in my era, you went out and got a blue-collar job, civil service, so we had law enforcement teams. So Department of Correction, I played on that football team for many years, as well as I was a coach on that team.
That's an interesting, way to do football because,
yeah.
I mean, you got the city. New York's known for, basketball, obviously, and baseball.
Absolutely.
But I'm just interested, how did football kind of fit in there? There's not a lot of fields, I guess, to practice on, right?
Well, yeah, so the biggest problem in the city is that a lot of the fields don't have lights. So, all your games had to be during the day. You know, these guys play Friday nights, we play Saturday day. But if you were out on the outer boroughs in upstate New York and stuff where it was more rural, then yeah, that's where football, was big. But hey, we borrowed equipment and shared helmets running off the sidelines, and you just got to it. And football was an out for me. It really, I have lifelong friendships of guys that I coached with that are, coaching in the NFL and in the college level. We stay in touch and stuff. So it helps build character because you're living in the 5 boroughs and you got to deal with that and then trying to play sports and make something out of yourself.
So my next question is, what brought you into wanting to do like a first-year program down there in Naples?
So when I first moved to Naples, when I retired, I was working at a couple of different high schools. And then I was working with another team last year. And when I heard about this program starting out, it's really something that, I've loved coaching. For me, I was the youngest of 6. I was a knucklehead. So by the time I came around, my mom and dad just threw me out in the grass to burn off energy. So I know what a program like this means. And so I'm definitely, I'm interested in it and helping develop these young men and making sure that they get an opportunity to do well for themselves in college and then be able to help their families out along the way.
Now, how do you take that experience and translate it into the recruiting process? Because you bring a varied and a unique approach from your skill set as well as your experiences. How do you translate that into the recruiting process, getting a program off the ground and building it brick by brick?
Well, first of all, I have amazing people in the organization that are out there helping us. But the main thing for me that helps is when I speak to the parents. I let them know my background. 2 of my other coaches who couldn't join us today, they're still active law enforcement officers who played college football. So when we talk to the parents, and they know first and foremost that they're going to be safe. Second of all, we're going to develop character. Because I don't care if you run a 4 flat. If your character is horrible, what's that going to do for you, right? So we come to it from that aspect of building men, helping them get into school, helping tutor them. And it translates over quite easily. So these guys go out, they fly around the field, they, put in the work, and we just help give them the tools to make them successful.
Now, Coach, I got to admit this because I love the accent. My mom, Long Island, Hempstead.
Okay.
You know where that is?
I know where Hempstead is. We don't really consider that New York, though.
Yeah. This guy knows Florida forwards, backwards, 6-way, sideways, and Sunday. I'm a military brat and a former military guy, so I've been several places. So when you mention New York, I can say, yeah, I can get down with that.
You can tell right away, yeah.
But speaking of unique experiences, or I say unique things, your offense, you want to run an air raid pistol power, and your defense is a 4-2-5.
Absolutely.
Now, you hear air raid, the first thing you think of is Mike Leach,
right?
And the old Texas Tech
Absolutely.
way of doing things. But I'm gonna let Chuck take the offense, but I'm gonna ask you about that 4-2-5 defense because that is another unique twist that you don't see a lot of at just about any level, really.
Well, I started running the 4-2-5 a couple of years ago because as one of the other coaches was saying, the talent pool has changed. So I started finding more tweeners, hybrid linebacker safeties, and found that they, you let them play loose and free, and it actually works to our benefit. The days of having that, 6'2", 230 linebacker on this level, it's hard. But then when you find these guys that have the speed of a safety and also, my free safety has to be my dog. So when they have that mentality, they can come down the alley and tackle. I found that the kids love it, and it's an easy defense to adjust to any offense that we're running, against. So we're very flexible, and it's very versatile. So that's why I love that defense.
Yeah, I'm completely ignorant about what football is like, up in New York State and how you grew up. But
well,
I will say
we
this.
grew up old school. Fullback. We had the fullback.
Well, you played in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah. 80s.
Yeah, so back when the jerseys were up to their stomachs.
I still have mine.
Gigantic pads and
Absolutely.
stuff.
And
Go
the neck
all the way
roll.
back to Y.A. Tittle.
Neck roll.
Yeah, neck roll. Neck roll. For those for the younger kids, you don't even know. Like Mike Allstott with the neck roll. That was half the battle. If you saw a dude with a neck roll, he was either the weakest guy or the guy you didn't want to hit. So you would know after the first time you hit him.
Craig Hayward.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
My question. What do you have? You have Boz, right?
Yeah.
Boz. Yeah, the Boz back in Oklahoma. My question about your offense, right?
Sure.
Is that you got the air raid and the pistol power, and you were talking about these tweeners. And what I've noticed with college football, I'm just waiting for the day that they go back to like the 1924 like Notre Dame offense, where you got 4 quarterbacks out there that can all throw and then run that option. And it seems like with that pistol power, it looks like it's kind of inching towards that. You got a bunch of guys that can throw, but my reason for bringing up the New York versus Florida thing is, man, you're down there in South Florida. You can recruit some speed.
I got a lot of speed. I tell you, when I first moved down here and took my first high school job, I was amazed at these guys were jumping out the gym, first of all. And, I had the pleasure of coaching a couple of kids from Laley High School that are now D1 seniors and hopefully be recruited this year to the NFL. But, with that, the pistol power – and, the air raid allows us to get out there, spread them out, and then, come back with a little under center, go gun, go pistol, and, get the Z involved as well as the H back. And, everyone gets to touch the ball, and we just have some fun out there.
I didn't mean to interfere. Let's say when you brought up Notre Dame, I said the Notre Dame box.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he called the Notre Dame box.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before we find, a college football team with 4 former high school quarterbacks playing running back, and you never know.
Well, you get that with like Navy and those teams, and they run that triple option.
Yeah, but usually the running back's just a running back.
Yeah,
when that running back is a 3-star quarterback,
absolutely.
Then you've got UCF. I think is trying to do something like that with R.J. Harvey. But anyway, let's talk about some of your guys that you brought here.
Yeah, absolutely. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hello, my name is Travis Chair. Went to Naples High School.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't pass that mic just yet. This guy's got some questions for you. Being down there in Naples now. We're not letting you off that easy.
So you're a local guy. What made you decide that you wanted to go and join these guys on their first year?
I had wanted to get back into it because I was going through some stuff with my family, and I stuck my head up and got back to it.
So it's just, this is a good opportunity for you to do it. You're going to put the work in and stuff. And as a coach, this man has a lot of experience. I mean, he's been, the Department of Corrections. He played for their football team, up in New York. And I'm going to tell you, that's probably a hard job just to deal with in law enforcement in New York just anyway. So he's got a lot of that experience. And then, coaching and stuff, he has that too. What is it about him that you really look forward to, getting to know him more?
I would love to get to know him more because right now he shows me he's a father figure to his athletes.
Well, I got a question for you. You're a receiver. What kind of routes you like to run?
I like to run deep routes.
So you want to get off and strap the rocket on and get down there.
Chase the ball.
And catch the ball.
What's your 40?
What freshman year was like a 4.8.
So you got some speed down there.
Oh, yeah, he's quick.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to set you both up now. Because you take this to practice. Who has better hands?
Neither one.
They're very diplomatic. So that
is unlike a Florida guy to not say me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, these are team guys, man.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
You got a good group of guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know I can tell. Yeah, y'all are pushing each other to excellence, and that's a good thing. So I'm not going to let him off the hook. He's sitting up there smiling.
My name is Demarion Salters. I went to Naples High. I played wide receiver.
So y'all went to high school together?
Yes.
Okay. So like teammates. That's why they wanted to say that.
Yeah.
So y'all looking for? Are there other people around your community that you're like, hey, come check this out?
Yeah, we try to get some other kids to come play with us.
Like a Naples to Naples pipeline type thing.
That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of social media.
I mean, they got some good teams down there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they do.
Are you trying to reach out to maybe some rivals, maybe up in Fort Myers? Or
Nah, I just stick with my name.
You're not going to get them to bridge that bridge. No.
To his chagrin, we do have a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
So, it'll be some interesting days in training camp. I'm looking forward to it.
That's how you grow as men, You got to leave that in high school,
That's right. And you're pushing each other because, a team, it's not about the I, it's about the we, right?
Yes, it is.
And you all are, what do they say? If we all push the water down together, the boat rises up.
Yes, sir.
So, that's good to hear. So what's your favorite route?
Well, it don't matter to me. Either route's good, but I like short routes because, I like to get my yardage up. I don't like to – if I have to go for a D route, I'll go for a D route. But, I'm normally a playmaker. It's if it's 4th and 12 or something, just give me the ball. I'll get us a first down so we can keep on going.
You're about that yak, the yard after the catch.
Yeah.
I can tell. I see that $1 million smile over there. Said you want to cut it. If I catch it short, and then I make him look silly going all the way down.
Nah, I've always been told just one move and go.
One move and go.
One move and go. I love it. Love it. Well, what else you got for him, Chuck?
Oh, nothing really. I'm just excited to see what happens for your first year. As a team, straight out of nothing. You got to get new pads, new everything, ready to go.
Yeah. Everything is sitting in a storage container, and we got to dust it off this week. Get my guys to work, and I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to building this and getting these guys to the next level. Definitely.
Well, Coach, we see a lot of success in your future.
I appreciate that.
Looks like you got a great group of kids, and with your background, I see nothing but a win-win situation for the Naples area. And I'm sure, regardless of his chagrin, that it'll grow around, and all those other high schools will have more players pouring into your program. When they see what you guys are all about.
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal. Naples is a huge area for baseball and soccer, and, football as well doesn't really reach down to our area. Lee County, it's kind of like the cutoff for the publicity. But, yeah, we really want to establish this and get more young men like this in, next few years and make sure that they become successful. That's our goal.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, there you have it, folks. The Naples Knights. That's the last group of the day, so let's give it up for them. First-year program getting started here at NPGAA, and you taking on the mantle. So we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Coach.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
You two young men, we wish you the best of luck this season. We look forward to seeing what you do on the field.
Thank you, sir.
Well, there you have it. We've gone through all the teams that are here today. Impressive young men, impressive programs, impressive association, the NPGAA. We thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday, and we look forward to being a part of more of your time and efforts in watching this league grow and thrive, and watching better young men also becoming better football players. I'm Freddie Flowers. To my right is Chuck Tolman. And we'll be right back.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression. My skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted. Cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it. I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings. I won't fit the setting. Look for me. You know I'll be at. I'm at the top of the case. I had getting me and they think I don't see that. They talking about way. Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's your feet at? $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. They need that I'm planning. Gotta go go 200 the food. When I lit, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watching the I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Something clean, something new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's cheddar cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the one, it's not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $, $1, $2, $3, $ $1, $2, $3, no dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Another dollar, another day.
From National Post Grad Athletic Association, here with the Naples Knights. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I have 2 wide receivers. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Travis.
My name is Demarion Salters.
So there you have it with the Naples Knight. Travis, last time you probably played football was like a year ago or so. What have you done to keep yourself motivated and condition-wise as far as getting ready for the 2024 season?
I've been going to the field, been going to the beach, running miles, like trying to gain my stamina back and everything because it's been a long time getting back into it. So I'm adapting back.
What about you?
Well, since this past season ended, I've been still working out with the team at Naples High. I've been doing their conditions and their practices, and I still talk to the coach to this day. So, I just go back and then just go work out with them.
So, obviously, both of you guys playing wide receiver, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all was teammates at high school?
Teammates since we were little kids.
Oh, wow. Y'all go a long ways back, huh? Y'all boys, huh? So, I know this year with the Naples Knight, y'all expecting to do exciting things with this first-year program. So, what do you look forward to as far as being out there with your teammate again?
Me being out there with my team, I want to set goals for myself. I want to at least get over 1,000 yards.
1,000 yards? Receiving?
Receiving.
Wow, you try to go, huh?
For real.
What about you? What are your personal goals this year?
My personal goals this year is just to, do better, get more yardage, and then, just receive more offers and, help myself get better and get looked at by other colleges.
Man, y'all going to have airtight, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. I hope your quarterback keep y'all happy, man. So I appreciate you guys coming out, man, and I'm looking forward to the Naples Knights playing and putting that thing in the air and see what we can do this year, man. And I appreciate you guys, man, so much, and good luck to you, both of you guys, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
On the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. It's from nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talk about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money and pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the feet at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. Daddy that I'm planning. Gotta go chewing the death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watching the cannon. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, that's why I just had it. They said the cheese is the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. $1, Another dollar.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my god, Camden, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempting. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not city. That can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the king's head. Look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I can't.
Association. We're going to hear and talk a little bit of recruiting here. We got people from the NPGAA recruiting. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Chris Blanton. I'm the CEO, founder of Postgrad Recruits.
Jarrell Archer, partner of Postgrad Recruits.
Okay, so obviously the whole point of Postgrad is to get people ready to move on to the next level, which is where recruiting comes in. So could you just kind of give us kind of a recap of like what happened last year? How successful was it? How many people do you know that we moved up, and maybe name some of the programs they went to?
Last year was successful. I mean, as every year, the number of athletes, the talent level is extraordinary. To see how many guys who go to Postgrad who have the ability to play on the next level is amazing. It's so many diamonds in the rough that the Postgrad programs do an excellent job of finding. So last year, I mean, we had a few. We had one go to Alabama A&M. The quarterback, where do you go to?
Marshall.
We had a quarterback go to Marshall. So I mean, and then a couple of smaller programs. Livingstone College, they recruit postgrad very heavy. They find a lot of diamonds that have become All-Americans in the Division II level for them. And some of them end up going Power 5 after that. So it's amazing to see the amount of guys who go and play postgrad and move on to the next level that are missed because of one situation or another.
So it's a journey for a lot of these athletes. This isn't just you're going to have a great season, all of a sudden, bam, you're playing national championship game for Georgia or something. It's move on to the next level, and then maybe from there, especially with the transfer portal, right. Now they're going to get a kid that's really played 1 year, and gotten bigger and stronger, and now they've gone to their first year of college. They got 3 years of eligibility left. They're 2 years more mature than some 18, 19-year-old coming out there, so they're looking better at that. Have you noticed that there's been any kind of particular type of players that seem to get selected?
So the purpose of Postgrad Recruits, like we say, we're trying to recruit and give these young men another opportunity for whatever situation may have happened in high school. So it's not a direct competition with the transfer portal. We're just opening up the window and the door for more opportunities for these young men. We believe it's a great route for these high school kids who may not always have the film or may not always have the grades or may need that one more year of getting a couple meals in at dinner time to put some weight on and get a little faster on the field. So we believe it's just another opportunity, another outlet for these young men just to grow, not just as football players but as young men as well.
So, there's a lot of rules changes in football, either through the NFL and it trickles down or maybe college implements it. So the positions are kind of changing. Are you seeing that, maybe, linemen are now being put at more of a premium than they used to be?
Linemen are scarce. They all over the nation, from high school all the way really from Little League all the way up to college. I don't know what's happening. But
we saw some big ones here today.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a nice future there.
Exactly. But then you got guys that big that decide they want to be a chef instead. It's scarce finding linemen all over the nation. So that's a position that is highly sought after. on all levels from high school, post-grad. I mean, college coaches are going to go anywhere to find them. They go to Europe now to find a lineman because, they just breed them big over there. So, that's a position that's highly sought after everywhere.
So let's say there's a kid watching this live stream or on video later, and he's got an offer from maybe like a D3 school or, maybe a kind of not a great D2 program. Why would he want to join, something like a post-grad? We've had a lot of success, but kind of speak to that kid. Like, why would you want to do that?
Well, when it comes to a kid that already has an offer from a Division III, sometimes, kids – it's always about betting on yourself, it's that investment on yourself, When you've been playing football since you've been, 5, 6 years old, you don't envision that you're going to a Mary Hardin Baylor, even though they're one of the top Division III schools in the nation. But that's not where you envision yourself going. You envision yourself going down the road to Texas, So these guys, they're just betting on themselves. They want to be in the limelight. They want to be on that top level on the big stage. Now, will all of them get there? No. That's the reality of the situation. And can you go to the NFL from any level? Yes. But we all know that if you're going to a prominent, dominant program, then you have a better odds. And that's what these guys are looking at. But us, we just want the guys to get in the college. We just want them to get that free education and take advantage of moving their future forward and being successful at the end of that. So, that, like Coach said earlier, we just want to give the guys that extra opportunity that their post-grads are already giving them, and we're just that extra pinch, on top of that.
So a lot of this seems to be like social media driven, like a lot of these players are finding their coaches. What advice would you give to these, student athletes, these young players, as far as maybe setting up their own kind of personal branding or thing ahead of time, trying to get their name out there?
So social media, even nowadays, I would say, especially when COVID started, social media has been huge. You have the TikToks, you have the Instagrams, you have the Twitters, Snapchats, things of that nature. Some advice I would give to these young men is, be your true and authentic self. A lot of people use social media to show a life that they don't live, and it's not true to themselves. These colleges, these postgrads, they want you for you. So to show someone and prove to someone that you're something that you're not won't really help you. Be careful what you post. Kind of be smart. We don't want to see we can see comments on any type of viral posts. They can see, the things you post on your story. They can see the things you're doing Saturday night at 10 o'clock when you probably shouldn't be someplace where you shouldn't, and hanging out with some people you shouldn't be hanging out with. So everything is not for social media. The things that are posted on there naturally don't really go away. Things can be found. I have 8-year-ago Facebook posts that popping up on my phone right now, which scare me to death to this day. So social media it can be used as a tool, but could also be your enemy as well. So it's kind of being careful what you post. I got my coach said right here, brand yourself. Show your GPA. Show schools that you are an investment for them, for you. Show pictures of your family. Show pictures of football being your life. Show things that are a positive light to give it the coach a reason to help you get them into your school. So it can be an enemy, but for the most part, it's definitely useful as a tool as well.
I think a lot of it is, you're just a private citizen, so to speak, doing all of these things. And then when you realize you have to be out on a public stage like that, now they have to switch their mind. And it's kind of hard because they're not at like a huge school where it's like it's very evident you can't post these things, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're their best, I guess they're their best advertisement.
Right.
And so I guess they need to realize, like, you can wait for the coaches to get your tape out there, but maybe, if you start putting together little packages, little TikToks, whatever of your highlights, that'll do a lot of heavy lifting for your coaches, right?
Right. And that's some of the reason how postgrad recruits started because of social media. Is your social resume, pretty much. That's what the app is. It's taking all the extra stuff, and this is what you're about. You're trying to get recruited. So put things that's going to help your recruitment and that coaches actually want to see, to help for your recruitment. The social media kind of can tell who you are. post-grad recruits tells who you are as an athlete and gives you a resume as far as that. So it allows coaches to get past all the fluff and who is this kid on the field, who is he in the classroom, and things of that nature. So that's kind of what we stand on.
Are there any kind of standouts that we should be looking forward this year? Anybody that you think maybe headed to the next level?
Not as of yet. We haven't really dug in yet to see, because most of the post grads have just reported this past week or so.
It's a short turnover. Usually exactly. They don't usually stay
exactly.
that many years.
So within the next couple of weeks, we'll start to see who's really, who's ready for the big stage, really. And we'll start digging in and watching the film and things of that nature, and all those rankings and all that good stuff will start coming out.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
DP on the beat, on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.
Oh my God, Q-Dude, stop playing with me.
Another dollar, another day. Except nobody getting paid. I had to find another way to get that money back today. Cause I'm out of aggression, my skin's not a weapon. That gang life I'm tempted, cause life was so tempted. I got no friends, can't help it, I'm different, not fitted. I can't go to weddings, I won't fit the setting. Look for me, you know I be at. I'm at the top of the kings. I look at me and they think I don't see that. They talking about what? Nah, I gotta leave that. She left me, she ain't know that she need that. Money in pocket, I get that. You talk about game, but where's the feet at? $1, $2, $3. No dollar, $1, $2, $3, no dollar. They need that I'm planning. Gotta go chew on the death food. When I live, I'm about to go bust like a cannon. That's feeling, you ain't watch that. I came off the moon, baby, I landed. Some clean, some new. I lost my mind, I swear just had it. It's the cheese, it's the blue. I feel so rich, but I gotta have it. It's not the ones, not the two. It's all them fives, but I gotta grab it. That money, what I choose. Corruption, what I choose. $1, $2, $3, no dollar. 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 Another dollar, another day.
We tend to call the captain of the ship, Lee Etienne. Good to see you, and great event today. A lot of great teams. The league has been around. How long now?
We're going on year number 4.
Year number 4, and now you have a little history that actually goes back further than that in working with some of these guys.
Yeah. So throughout establishing the Post-Grad Association, we found that it was a niche for a lot of exposure that a lot of these kids needed. I'm the founder of Advanced Prep Academy. We're the longest-standing post-grad football program here in the state of Florida. We're actually going into year number 9 of the organization. So we've had a lot of success putting kids in school, providing kids with opportunity for career advancement outside of, school if those kids felt like, okay, school and football isn't for me.
And, obviously in today's world, there's a number of challenges. Not only from a recruiting standpoint, you have financial challenges, travel challenges. The landscape of football has changed so much dynamically over, probably even the last just a few years. In your position, because you have a number of teams, each unique in their own way, and being in the leadership position, what do you see your role in as, with these guys here? Because, they definitely respect you. They look up to you, and you're doing a fantastic job. How do you keep going?
Just being able to provide a voice for these teams, who are looking for different avenues, different things that they can do within their organizations that can possibly help their organization, benefit, when it comes to different housing strategies, different academic strategies, and just different things as far as the overall structure when it comes to how to actually run a post-grad program. You get a lot of people who may pop up and feel like, hey, I can put together a post-grad team, but it's a difference between putting a team together and an actual organization. And we look to help establish organizations more so than we do teams, because we're looking for the longevity of the program and not just, here today, gone tomorrow.
And that's a great thing, because stability, is a great thing, and it definitely helps forward the product. And not only forwarding the product, but with the relationships and getting these kids to the next level. How do you see that going forward with NPGAA and getting these kids and those relationships out there, be it via social media, providing links? You always hear of things like Dragonfly, Huddle, things of that nature, tools that are out there to help that, because as Chuck was just saying, a lot of the kids use social media, forwarding videos of the football games or footage. How do you see the presence going forward to not only give visibility to the league or additional visibility to the league, but to expand it?
We look to try to partner with as many media outlets as possible, and being able to provide coverage, like today, Moxie Media, traveling from Alabama, the relationship that we built with them so that they can provide us with a actual live streaming presence, is definitely great. When it comes to providing coverage via the social media side of things, whether it be X or Instagram and Facebook and things of that nature there, our marketing team, they do a good job with putting together different things and getting feedback and putting photos and different highlight clips and partner up with post-grad recruits. Definitely helps us out as well, because now we're able to capture that particular moment with that student athlete and continue to put his brand out there, because now it's come to a point where these student athletes are their own brand. And as they understand how NIL transitions to not only the college and the professional side of things, it starts here in post-grad, and then they've even much allowed it to start in high school.
And, you have a team that's based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And me personally, I think that's huge. How do you see NPGAA expanding its footprint? I looked at some of the schedules, and obviously teams, they have to set this. Obviously, they have to play within the league, but I noticed they have some games that are not necessarily against teams that are in the league. So how do you see the footprint being expanded for NPGAA?
Well, the good thing about it is that we try to do our best with optimizing the travel for each team. With Las Vegas establishing a presence out west is great, because California runs the whole JUCO system out west. In Vegas, as you guys mentioned earlier, there's only 3 college programs in Vegas, with only 2 having football, and then you have the community college out there that only have baseball, basketball, and soccer. So now allowing post-grad to have a presence out west, it just provides an opportunity for the kids that are out in Vegas to pretty much have a valuable option to choose from prior to them making that jump to the next level. College coaches, they visit out in Vegas, but at the same time, the lower level schools from the Division IIs all the way down to NAIAs, it's kind of tough for them to get out to Vegas. But having an opportunity to have a post-grad program out there, it gives them a valuable option as to why they should go out to Vegas now, because now there's more options.
Now, there's clearly a strong footprint here in Florida, and there's you got Georgia, obviously Alabama. A lot of the teams, you got the Panhandle region, and you had some kids from Mississippi here. with being out west, obviously establishing that footprint, is NPGAA looking to try to expand across the Southeast as well?
We do. We really would love to expand across the country, but we got to take it 1 year at a time, and actually finding good organizations that are looking to establish in the different locations. Let's take Vegas for instance. They're the only post-grad program out there. So with it being that way, we try to figure out where is the closest other post-grad programs to where we can kind of pair them up so that they can have a couple games that they need to go to. I know they'll be traveling to Arizona, and they'll be traveling out to Oklahoma and Texas to play some games, which gives them an opportunity to have a decent schedule for their first year.
And to that end, folks, I'm going to quantify this for you. How do they always say it? The services of this attorney means that we're not greater than the services. You know how they always say that kind of thing, because there's other teams, other leagues. But what sets NPGAA apart?
I wouldn't really say it sets us apart. We're just trying to piggyback off the big dogs. From the NCAA to the NAIAs and the NJCAAs. We're trying to establish ourselves as a valuable option. For kids who may not have the financial opportunity to afford to go to college like that. Even though post-grad can be a more expensive upfront option, but when parents really look at all the bells and whistles, if there's a post-grad program that's in their particular area, then it lowers down the cost, because now that kid, he doesn't have to, stay in housing. He can stay at home, and he can travel back and forth to that particular post-grad. So just providing the opportunities for kids to be able to benefit, because a post-grad program is in their hometown or is within driving reach or arm's reach. And then also identifying what the NCAA is doing, and as it trickles down, to see how we can catch the falling pieces. I know the NCAA, they're talking about, eliminating walk-ons. So when we say, okay, the NCAA is going to eliminate walk-ons, what does that do for post-grad? How can we help those kids who at one time they wanted to be walk-ons? Now it's like, okay, if I can't walk on, let me possibly have an opportunity to go to a post-grad so that I can have an option to be able to get some film as we play, because they may play D3s, NAIAs, junior colleges, and other post-grad programs, so they're playing good competition. So providing that kid that opportunity so that he can get the film, to send out to this college coach that maybe looked at him a year before, and that coach was like, hey, we like you, we just don't have any room for you. But then now, a year later, this kid has gotten bigger, faster, stronger. He's gotten mature better. His body has developed a little bit more. Now that coach may be like, hey, look, we like what you've done. We see the growth. We want to be able to extend a better opportunity for you to actually come on.
And you made a very key point. Not every kid gets an NIL deal. And I can tell you, with some of the knowledge I have, a student, non-scholarship, they try to go to that D1 level at a major university, those dorm fees, everything else. You're talking about potentially paying $2,000 or higher a month for what basically amounts to a single bed hotel room. Yeah. And that is quite an expense. And so it's great to hear what you all are trying to do to say, hey, here is another option. They say, well, what's the upfront cost? Well, hey, you're not traveling. There's the car, there's the insurance, there's the food, there's everything that goes with that. And not only that, getting the student to understand that the NIL deal is not out there for everybody. It is actually, most people don't realize just how finite it really is. It's not a kind of a scatter the seed kind of thing and everybody wins. So it's great to see NPGAA coming to the forefront for these students to understand, hold on, wait a minute, don't believe everything you read and hear. There's something in the fine print that you need to understand.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, and we want to be a voice for parents, because there's a ton of parents out there that, you got kids who are first generation, high school graduates, first generation going to college. So, and it's a lot of parents that really don't understand how the recruiting side of things work. So if the NPGAA can provide and be a voice for those parents so that they can understand, okay, I really don't know about this recruiting thing. It's great that my kids are getting recruited and this school is recruiting my kid, that school is recruiting my kid, but what's in the fine print? How much am I being offered? What type of scholarship is it? Is it a full ride? You know what I mean? Is it a partial? Is it academic? So there's a lot of things that go into it. Once parents can identify, okay, this particular option, and these are the ingredients within that particular option. Now I want to be able to compare it with post-grad to see how it can benefit and how it can actually work for the parents. So we want to be a voice for the parents so that the parents can kind of lean on us to have an opportunity to say, you know what, let me go through this process so I can educate myself as a parent for my young student athlete. And once the parents can understand that, you know what, this really isn't a bad opportunity that you can take on, because now you're gonna take college classes, which are gonna transfer in with you. You're gonna have an opportunity to develop and grow and mature. So now your freshman year isn't like a regular blind freshman year. And what I mean by blind freshman year, if you get a kid who's getting recruited and he's going to, let's say, a NAIA or Division I, and that kid hasn't been away from home before, now you're talking about homesickness. You're talking about the cold. You're talking about the schedule. You're talking about the extracurricular activities from girls, sex, drugs, parties, all those things like that student haven't experienced. Now post-grad, which is tailored to the athletics as well as the academics, now this student can really understand what the picture really looks like, more so than just throwing out there in the fire and not knowing what's hot, what's cold, and if I'm finna get burnt or if I'm gonna just sail through this thing.
All right, I'm going to play a little bit of a game here. You're Coach Etienne. I'm the kid, and I'm saying they're just going to redshirt me, so I'll maintain my year of eligibility. They're just going to redshirt me. That's kind of fixed in the head. How do you unravel that?
Being a redshirt is not a bad thing at all. But at the same time, if they like you coming out of high school, they'll love you coming out of post-grad. If you know that you're going to a program and they're going to redshirt you, well, if you need to find out if that program has a JV program. 9 times out of 10, if they have a JV program, you'll probably get a post-grad program that's going to be rolling in. If that post-grad program is rolling in, well, we got a whole bunch of kids who are rolling in who are gap year players post-grad where that year isn't counting against them, and now we're going to be playing against you. You're a redshirt. How much money did they say that you would be paying out of pocket? Let's say the sum of $15,000, possibly $20,000 out of pocket between student loans and actually out-of-pocket expense. Well, we can kind of cut that cost in half so that now it provides you with a better opportunity to get that exposure. Because now if you're playing in our program and we're playing out on that field and you're redshirted, well, if you're redshirted, depending on how many games they're playing, that you're not actually redshirted. That's counting against your clock. So you have to, and a student have to, and the parent have to ask the proper questions so that you can actually understand, does this start my clock if I play? Now, you do have some NAIA programs that do things right, and they only play 1 or maybe 2 games. So then now if they're playing only 1 or 2 games, it won't burn that kid's clock. You know what I mean? It just provides them a taste of, what this college program is going to be like while still preserving their eligibility, and that year didn't count against them, and that's a true redshirt year. So you just got to truly understand exactly, how it's actually going to benefit you and how it's going to work for you and your family. At the end of the day, it's the almighty dollar. That's what it all boils down to.
And I think that's a great response because, like in today's environment, like I said, there was a time where whatever was happening, and let's just say, out in Oregon, for example, you didn't really realize that in South Carolina. But with the social media presence being the way it is, and you have a lot of ears talking to these kids via social media posts, be it X, I don't know if anybody, these kids use Facebook anymore, but you got Instagram and Discord, things of that nature. As a developer, as a coach, and you're running the league, those challenges. What are those challenges so that they understand? No, this is the real truth. It's not everything you see out there on the internet.
And these kids, they don't understand it. They're hurting themselves. These kids are delusional. No matter what we say as coaches, mentors, fathers, parents, they're going to do what they want to do. And I think what baffles me the most is that the example is online. Players that have come before them, that have messed up and have done this and done that. You get the same athlete or a different athlete the next year that might do the same thing, and they know that it's wrong. So kids have to understand that peer pressure is real, and no matter how macho they may think they are, they have to understand that it's a fine line of walking, a straight line so that you can be, that person who's going to be called up next. You get a lot of these kids, they have social anxiety. They don't know how to go and they don't know how to work the room. They don't know how to speak to coaches and things of that nature there. They don't know how to dress the par. A lot of kids, their social media is killing them. You get these college coaches, they like a kid. They're going to go and they're going to do their investigation. And they're going to go and go to that kid's social media. And if that kid have, all these things on his social media that doesn't, fall in line with that particular university and institution, then, that coach is an easy decision for them. Because there's another kid that's coming up right behind them, whether that kid is a post-grad kid, a junior college kid, or a high school kid, or a high school junior. There's other kids that are coming up behind them, and these kids have to understand that.
And there's another challenge that's been out there. You've got a lot of training groups. They run training academies, things of this nature while they're in high school, or they'll get them in middle school or even, rec league or youth league. And as they're coming up, their trainers and coaches at that level are telling them, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is going to happen for you. And they say they have contacts, but they're not real contacts. How does NPGAA deal? Because I know that's a real component that's out there as well. And like I said, there's a myriad of challenges. How do you overcome that? Because I know that you see it in Florida, you see it in Georgia, you see it other places too. And these things are popping up everywhere.
It's happening all across the country. At the same time, it starts at home with the parents. It's great that parent can entrust in that trainer to help their kid develop and things of that nature there. But I think as humans, we all get comfortable. And when we get comfortable, we may allow that trainer to pretty much, okay, then you're going to take my kid all the way through. He's been training with Coach Mike for X amount of years. You know what I mean? I trust Coach Mike and things of that nature there. But the parents have to truly understand what's best for your kid. Not because Coach Mike have said it, because, Coach Mike may have a certain level of context. Coach Mike may want to do it for the benefit of him and his brand that he's training. So, it's a lot of different things and a lot of trainers and people out there that are exploiting kids, for the benefit of their own gain, financially. So I think it starts with the parents to understand that, okay, then you're going to train with him through this youth league side of things. If things are progressing and I'm comfortable with it and I feel like I'm gaining enough knowledge to where, okay, we'll move on to the middle school side of things. But what parents have to understand is what your child did in youth league in middle school and when it comes to training is far different than what they're doing on the high school level now. And then when you transition to college, it's a whole different world. Parents have to understand when you get to high school, especially 10th, 11th grade, yeah, they're going to be able to train with their high school program. But when you sit back and evaluate your child's growth, if your child plays football, they need to have a strength trainer because the body development, and the change in body type is very pivotal when it comes to these kids making that transition from high school to the college level. And these college coaches, when they see that, they can be like, oh, yeah, we see this kid out here, he's got trash cans being thrown at him. That doesn't, simulate what's going to go down in a game, at all. So what needs to happen is the parents need to actually go and visit these college programs so that they can see these college freshmen who have been there a year, who's going into their second year, so that now they can see the body types and see how it changes. So parents have to understand the development and growth of their child and not leave it in the hands of a trainer. And I don't care if he's a world-renowned trainer. You definitely need to understand it as a parent So, because if you're going to leave it in the hands of this world-renowned trainer, he needs to see growth. Because if I'm going to put my kid with a trainer, I don't want my kid with a trainer who's just put kids all on the Division I level. Because what is that telling me? This guy's only working with Division I kids. And is he really getting those Division I kids in school? Because if I've gotten 5 kids in the Division I level, I got 5 kids who've seen what I just did, and I'm posting it. I got 5 more kids who already have Division I offers that I'm going to take credit for, and I didn't do the work from the ground up. So I want to see a trainer who has put kids on the college level on all different levels, because that lets me know that trainer has worked with kids from the 0-star athletes all the way up to the 5-star athletes. So that trainer could definitely adjust his training style to help kids from the smaller level to the higher level.
And that is great stuff. I couldn't agree more. I mean, you really brought that home there. So you have a great group of coaches, great staffs who put in a lot of time, effort, and heart. What do you say to them to keep them encouraged?
Just continue to believe in the process. You know what I mean? You have a plan in place. Believe in the plan. It's okay to listen to suggestions from other people, but you have to understand, I can listen to suggestions from somebody else, but that other person might get mad because I don't like his suggestion. Well, they have to understand that I've put the blood, sweat, and tears and the time into this project that I've thought about countless time and hours and days, and now here you are, and I just so happen to ask you a question, and you're mad because I didn't implement your suggestion into this plan. Well, I've taken that suggestions and I wrote it down. It may not be good to implement that now at this particular moment. Not to say that I'm not going to use it at all, but it doesn't work. It's not what I was looking for at this particular moment. So that particular coach of that organization, they just need to understand, have a solid team in place with coaches and administrators and supporting cast around them, and just stick with the plan, what you have in place, and just be able to take constructive criticism. And be able to make changes that's going to be for the betterment of your organization.
And that's absolutely right. If the organization's better, the league gets better, and it grows. Well, Coach, because we're all coaches.
Correct.
Absolutely. And this has been a great media day event. We're looking forward to great things from the league. We're looking forward to continuing to work and watch and see it developed, and doing what we can to continue to help and promote it. For the fans out there, what would you have to say to them?
Be patient. Rome wasn't built overnight. The NPGAA isn't going to be built overnight. We're not the best organization, but we're definitely not the worst. We're getting better each and every year. We're doing what we need to do to make sure that these kids are well taken care of. I always tell parents, kids, coaches, there's no 2 post-grad programs that are alike. Every program is different within their own right, and I think if parents are really thinking about sending their kid to a post-grad program, go ahead and spend a couple $100 to go and visit that program so that you can actually see what you're going to really be investing your money in. A lot of parents, my son is getting recruited by this particular college, and they just send their kid just because it's a college, not realizing that there's a lot of colleges out there that are outdated. You know what I mean? Dorms may not be up to the standards and things of that nature there, but just the word college, parents feel comfortable with. You got to do your research with everything that you're doing. And with post-grad, continue doing your research. We're doing some really good things here within the association, and as we continue to grow, we want to grow with the parents that are coming up behind us and students that are coming up behind us, so that we can be that voice and that arms of information when it comes to the this new age recruiting process, and as we can possibly be a gap year for their particular kids.
Well, it sounds like the foundation has absolutely been laid the proper way, and brick by brick, and it doesn't get any stronger than that. Leo, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We wish you guys a great and fantastic season, right on up to the championships and the relationships that develop. Fans, parents, players, coaches, I'm Freddie Flowers. I'm privileged to be here today with the NPGAA. We thank you for taking your time with us. We look forward to a great season, and we'll see you soon.